Hello, everybody that might be in here already. Rakesh, J-Rod Photo, Mike Farwell. How you guys doing? So today, as everybody, I had talked about it Saturday night. I have to travel tomorrow. I'm going to down to Raleigh, North Carolina to pick up my wife. I'm flying down and we're driving back. So I wouldn't be able to have a live stream tomorrow unless it was very early in the morning. I just chose to do it today, so it's a little more relaxed, at least for me. And tomorrow I can just get ready to travel. I'll be down there. I'm flying down tomorrow night and driving right back the next morning. So I will be here for the Saturday show, of course. But anyway, that's the reason for the Tuesday show. I hope everybody got the notification. I'm sorry that it was a little later than I expected to get it out, letting everybody know that it would be today. But I was back and forth as to whether I was going to do an early show in the morning or do the show at the normal time today. So here we are. All right. So got Mr. Roy in here and Mr. Jeffrey, and there are others that have an invitation. We'll see who shows up. Let's see what's going on in the comments. Posted a question on a Nikon YouTube video. What was that, James? Thank you for making so many wonderful lenses. Do you have an update on the 2 to 600? Yeah.
what coincidence. And then everything just went quiet.
Then Nikon replied. Albert, how are you, sir? Albert, when are you going to be ready to come on the show, man? You just need to let me know. Need to get you in here for, with all your knowledge of some peculiar lenses and, of course, adapters. I know there are a lot of people that like to hear from you. So jump in there. Evening, Alan. How are you? Ray, good afternoon. Berwick upon Tweed. I love those titles. I am in Long Meadow upon Brookfield.
Connecticut, believe me, Connecticut doesn't have any fancy names for anything.
I guess that's maybe I should do that. I'm in Brookfield upon Connecticut or something like that. No, I like all these. I love the village titles and things like that.
Cool. I've got a family in Nanny Goat Common.
Nanny Goat Common. Cool. All right. So you're ready. You want to go today? I'll send you a link right now, brother. I know you're probably busy working, but just if you're ready, I'm going to start sending an invitation. But I need a YouTube channel to actually address this to, brother. Well, no, I don't. No, I don't. I have your email. I can send it to you. All right. So I'm going to start sending you an invitation. So get ready. Greg Wilson, I'm a day early. Yep.
They'll take anyone, even me.
Oh, well,
hey, you're kidding me? You're like the wise man that everybody would go to. So I mean,
no, I've just been around longer.
All right. So what's on everybody's mind? Is it camera stuff? Is it something you're doing as far as shooting right now? Is it about any particular genre in photography? Hey, David, how are you?
I've decided the lens mount on the Z cameras is too weak. Definitely needs more than 4 screws.
And like I said when I was talking to you, Roy, there are a lot of people that brought that up when the Z mount came out, and everybody got to see the mount and brought up that very thing about only 4 screws. I can hear myself in the background. Is that me?
Yeah, I don't. I'm only on the Restream feed, so not coming from me.
Okay.
I hope it's not me.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of cameras have only got 1 foot only got 4 screws, but such a big mount, I would hope they had at least 6 like they used to with the old F mount.
Yeah, and again, that was a concern. A lot of people caught that. So
I've tested it
I know.
and failed.
Oh, James, I just finished watching the last one. Wow, 5 hours. Yeah, we broke the record. That's not easy to do, man. Let's see. David says, Chuck, things are going great over here. Let's throw it up here. Over here, except that my 100-400 fell off my Z9. I was using it for 2 hours at a time. So it fell off of your Z9, just wasn't locked, or how did that happen, buddy? May have a similar story here, Roy.
Mine fell off the tripod because the tripod foot wasn't locked properly. Must have got loose in the bag, and lent at 70 to 200, and the Z9 just fell off and fell on the bag, and probably fell probably 2 feet or so. Camera first, and I looked at it, and the camera mount is all loose. All the screws are pulled through. Which I've probably had similar knocks from other Nikons before in the past, but they didn't break.
Let's see.
That makes you ill. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, I've had, for whatever reason, the last 3 times I've had 6 occurrences. Never had this problem before until I got my 500 PF back for repair, which I'm questioning whether it got repaired right or not. I got to do more shooting with it, but I've been getting 6 times now. The last 3 times I went out, 6 times total. I'll get the error message that shows up in the viewfinder. It tells me I have to press my shutter button to reset the camera, and it looks like some people say that has something to do with the protective shield getting stuck or something. I don't know. So if anybody has a clue as to why that would be happening,
Have
share
you tried it on different Z body, or
I only have one Z body.
I've seen people talking about that again in some of the threads, Jeffrey, because the update was supposed to, or well, we think it was supposed to help fix that or whatever, the error codes. So Mike asked me, he says, if you only owned a D850, would you have bought the Z6? And if so, would you have sold it if you didn't care for video? So I actually bought the Z6 for video. So I, in the last part of that statement, that was my main goal for the Z6 when, it was announced and came out. And I'm extremely happy with what it does compared to the D850, only because of the autofocus and video. And as you know, with all the DSLRs, you're pulling focus. The autofocus, and it has a lot to do or something to do with the F mount lenses too. But now it's a dream. And if I didn't shoot video, would I have sold it? It's a good question.
I think it depends on shooting.
Yeah. I don't know, Mike. I can't honestly answer that. I'm not going to say I wouldn't have, but in particular to me, the video was the thing that I was after, and of course I've been extremely happy with that side of the camera. But this brings us up to the discussion about the new cameras coming out, and everybody ranting and raving and wanting this new technology in these lower echelon cameras underneath the flagship. So yeah, there is a possibility, because I still believe, as good as the Z7 is, Z6 is, so many people want that new technology, specifically the autofocus. And a lot of people are crying and are complaining about, everybody's just crying, do they really need it? And you don't want to get me started on the rant of, do I need it? It has nothing to do with what I need. So anyway, that's as good answer as I can give you on that.
I think for me, because I have a D850 still, that if I had the Z6 definitely is obviously much superior for video. If you did not care about video and you shot sports or birds in flight and you wanted a little better autofocus, then maybe it would make sense to do that. But if you're shooting anything else, I would hang on to the Z6 too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So and he comes back.
Unless you need higher resolution, unless you need the 45 megapixels. But
So he's saying, I'm thinking of selling the Z6 II for a new D850, which would take care of all my needs, faster, accurate autofocus. Then, I'm 100% behind you on that, Mike. If that suits you better for what you're shooting, that's what you should do.
Save a lot of money on lenses too.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Very cheap. The lenses are fantastic value for the D850 now.
Hey, Mike. Well, let me counter your point here, or this conversation with, if a Z6 III came out, or was announced this week, if it were announced with the autofocus of the Z9 in it, would you consider going the Z6 III route rather than buying a D850, or a Z7 III rather than buying a D850? Just a question. You're not wrong either way. I'm not gonna, accuse you of being wrong either way. I'm just curious, because this adds to all the conversation we've had, of late, about what Nikon needs to do. So here's another case of, if he says, yeah, I would probably consider a Z7 III or a Z6 III over the D850, then okay, so Nikon doesn't lose a shooter in this case, but they lose a Z system shooter because it's not giving Mike what he wants. But if it had the autofocus and things like that of the Z9, would he consider? And we'll get an answer to that in a minute. But there are people that are switching cameras still.
yeah, he replied if a Z6 III came out, he would buy it.
So again, Nikon, thank you very much for all the information. So we can't make, educated decisions on what what we're holding out for, or going to wait for, or whatever, because there is no information, and people need things now, or want things now, either one, and they're gonna switch, or they're gonna change, or they're gonna do whatever they have to do. All right.
Well, part of the thing too, and people jumped all over Bayou Josh, but if you're someone that has this once in a lifetime trip planned, and you have a certain requirement for a lens, let's say, that your current manufacturer doesn't make yet, and that's a once in a lifetime trip. I mean, you're either going to rent something else to use, or you're going to switch, or you're not going to wait anymore. So you're not talking tens of thousands of people, but it's unfortunate that you should value Nikon should be worried about even when they lose one person to some other brand, because you shouldn't just like dismiss it like, oh, it's only a handful of people, because handful of people here and there add up over time, and it's just a negative thing for your brand. So they really got to get off their behind and do something here, like now.
Yeah, that's so true, Ray.
Yeah, but I've never had that part fail, but I've had sometimes the mount that holds the tripod plate to the lens, the actual collar, that sometimes gives way because of bad design. Like sometimes the button is in the wrong spot, or it's not tightened up enough, and it falls. Most people drop lenses from trying to put them on the tripod and not connecting them properly.
Martin Hild talks about he couldn't even rate the D850 versus the Z6 II. And the simplest way, without getting into a long, drawn-out conversation, of course, you guys are welcome to chime in, is, D850, superb for stills, superb, okay?
Yes.
The autofocus isn't as what we see coming in the new tech with the Z system, but it's good. It's good. All right. Uh, Z6 II, fantastic for video. Loving it for video. So they are actually two distinct cameras right now.
I'd still
And
rate the D850 as better autofocus than the Z6 II.
oh, I agree. I agree. That's exactly why I say that they're two distinct cameras. If I had to pick, two cameras, one for video and one for stills, it wouldn't be the all-encompassing, Z system, except for maybe the Z9. But the D850 is right there. That's the camera to go to, unless you're buying a Z9. Thank you, Nikon. Now you made me say it. So yeah, there is a distinct difference between the cameras. I mean, obviously there is, and not just in megapixel, but in performance. So yeah, the D850 would be, if you're shooting stills only right now, that's a fantastic camera. Even for I shot sports or motocross with the D850, and I will tell you the D5 was a monster and it outperforms the D850, but of course that's what it was built to do. But the D850 wasn't any slouch either. So, yep. I don't know. You guys agree with that, or you have any comments
Yeah, I
you'd
agree.
like to add to it?
No,
I think the D850's got the same system, but the more megapixels means it has to work harder.
Yep. And now I just got down to your comment, Mike, where you said, yeah, even though you saw it already, Jeffrey. Mike saying, yeah, he'd buy the Z6 III. Well, and I know that's a tough thing to say right now too, because we don't know what the Z6 III is going to be, but we anticipate it being, a much improved over the Z6 II, Z6, as far as autofocus goes anyway. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
And so
I'm having fun. And now you can finally get it off the shelf pretty much.
yeah.
Took a year.
At least over here in the States. And I think you said down in Australia, it's not hard to get a hold of either.
It's in the shops here too. I got mine back in December last year.
Okay. So Europe's catching up on their supply flow. So let's see. Because I ran across another person on YouTube. It's Photography Discourse is the channel. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I think he really liked to talk about photography in general and blah, blah, blah. But he's a Nikon shooter. So he's even now questioning, what's going on with Nikon. So it's not just a ranter like me, the petulant child. I'll just go ahead and say it for, the people that love to say that. But even he's beginning to question, what's going on Nikon. And his to summarize what he thinks could be the issue is that Nikon is just insistent on making sure that it's going to be it's going to over exceed expectations instead of just rushing a camera out. And I can agree with some of that. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think Nikon has been not in production. I wish that were the case, and maybe it could be. But I think Nikon's had these cameras, one of the three or all three or some, one or two maybe, in development for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I go back to the Z9. It sounds crazy, but I'd venture to say that the Z8, Z9 development, I think that they were being developed at the same time. And then it was just a matter of prioritizing which way do we want to go? Which camera do we want to drop first? And I know
about 3 years ago, I heard about the development of the Z8. It was going to be a full body like the D6. It was going to be 45 megapixels. It's going to have the EL18 battery, BSI, stack sensor, and all this. And then they released the Z9 instead. So I'd say that's what's happened. They were developing the Z8, which was going to be, and it turned out to be the Z9.
Yeah. So if that's the case, you know, what could be the holdup then for the Z8 or even the Z6 III, Z7 III? So his thinking was, 2023 is going to be a great year for Nikon. Well, okay, let's dissect that. Waiting so long to drop camera bodies, and how many bodies can they drop in a year? So my thinking is, and this is just simple, idiot thinking. If we don't get a camera body this year, how many do you expect to get next year? If we couldn't produce another body this year, we're not getting 3 bodies next year. At least that's my thinking. That doesn't make any sense at all to me. So if we got a body this year, there is the chance that we get a second body at least next year. So I don't know. Help us out, Nikon. Help us out.
I would have thought. I really thought the Z6, Z7 III would have come out this year, and maybe the Z8, like they're saying in March. But at least the Z6 and Z7 III, I'm sure, are going to share the same body, and it's just going to be a sensor difference and a few other little things. And you would think that those two bodies could have gotten kicked out this year, but now everything is in doubt because, like you said, we're almost at the end of the month now. So I don't know what they're thinking. And get out some of those lenses. I mean, I think that they would have they might do the trick. Sometimes they like the 2 to 600. They might have wanted to introduce that with a body. But you know what? If you got a problem with bodies for some reason, don't screw everybody else waiting for that lens. Put it out. Just get the lens. If you can't get the bodies out, get the lenses out. Do something.
Well, that's the reason for the title of the live stream on Saturday night. Help me out, Nikon. Explain to me why. And there may be a logical explanation, but throughout all of the streams that we've done and talking to everybody, we can't come up with a reason to hold on to the 200 to 600 forever. I mean, I think Roy made a statement saying maybe there are some issues in the, not the production, but the something significantly not wrong, but missing in having a great functioning lens. Maybe there's, I don't know. I mean, that would be the only thing that I could see that would hold it up is, there's still something they're working on with that lens, whether it's autofocus or who knows what. And I know we've covered everything else. We've covered glass production. We've covered production runs. We've covered everything else. But I think we can dismiss most of that. So, and there have been plenty of other lenses. So I guess the only thing I can really believe in is it's just been their priority for how they're releasing them. And I don't think that they've done a great job in prioritizing the release. I'm appreciative of all the fantastic super telephoto, telephoto zoom lenses and everything else. But here's a lens that will sell to the masses where the 400 TC is not going to. The 800 PF, as good as it is not going to. And the 400 4.5, which is, by all accounts right now, everybody talking about it, such a, nice lens. It's a great lens. But then again, I think people want that zoom range. There are goofy people like me that like zooms, so I cover more ground, but I can't come up with a reason.
More flexible.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's more flexible to have a zoom.
Yeah. And to each his own, whether it's a prime or a zoom. And we zoom people, we know we're not getting prime performance. We get that. But it's
Pretty
amazing
close,
how good the zooms have become, though, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, they're exceptional. They're exceptional now, and it all comes down. Well, part of that is too. I mean, the zooms are going to have a higher base aperture as well. So, I mean, if you need the f4 or a 2.8 lens, then you're gonna get a fixed lens and you're gonna pay for it. But you're gonna lose versatility, without having a zoom feature, but you'll have better quality and you'll have better low light performance. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough, you got enough money where you can own some of both. And,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Sometimes teleconverters better as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think they have satisfied the upper echelon buyer.
Oh, yeah.
They have exceeded, you know, would birders and wildlife photographers been happy with the 400 TC and the 800 PF for another year? Yes, but they just continue to crank out these higher end lenses. I shouldn't say crank out because there has been a
announced.
there has been a debate. Yeah, there has been a debate there, hasn't there? Hey, Mike. Yeah, I can understand the issue, man. You're right. The D850s are going to go. I will say that I think there are going to be a lot of D850s out there. There'll still be good buys used. I know Ted. I sold my D850, my second body, to Ted, and only had 14,000 clicks on that body. So, but I understand what you're saying, and especially if you want something now, there's no reason to hold out. There you go. I'll say wait till Halloween. Wait till Halloween if you can wait that long, because I did say October and we got to give it the full run here. So just wait till Halloween and maybe we hear something yet. I don't know. Greg talking about, I haven't been able to get enough content for a longer video. So I need to try out shorts, or, the short clips. Yeah. They seem to get seen. What's everyone think of shorts? Yeah, they do. But here's our problem, Greg, is they do for those that have that subscriber base. Again, the issue of getting, YouTube pushing your content. And I wish there was a way we could push it ourselves. And the only way we can do that is by continuing to create content. But shorts, I like shorts, and a lot of people do. But as far as content, man, I've seen your work, and all you got to do is put together, a trip to the field of here's what I've shot, and or whatever. I think that would be fine too. I don't think shorts. I'm going to say this, and I hope I'm. Well, I don't know. I like shorts. A lot of people like shorts, but I don't know that it really does anything for a channel until you're a big YouTuber. And I may be completely wrong. I've got a bunch of shorts that I've done, and very few people see them. So there you go. How much is YouTube helping me here, even doing shorts? So, but if you want to do it, there's no reason to not do it. Give it a try, and we'll see how it goes for you. It didn't help me any. I'll put it that way.
I like shorts. I like to run videos at twice the speed so I can watch them quicker.
Yep. Albert says, when it comes to lifespan, D850 will outlast any mirrorless camera by any brand that was introduced around the same time. Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Tough.
That's the quality of the DSLR build. And the jury's still out on the quality of mirrorless builds. I know some people immediately want to say they're not nearly as rugged. I don't know. Time will tell.
I found out that they're not quite as rugged.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The hard way.
Well, you're doing your thing to break them, and then David's dropping his on a rock. So, I mean, between the two of you guys, Nikon's not looking so good.
So here's another twist on all this. By the time they announce it, this is Ray, it will be, let's see, by the time they announce it, will anyone be able to afford it due to the oncoming recession, fuel, Ukraine, etc.? I know that when we get into times like this, Ray, it's always difficult, but it's more difficult on the people at the bottom end of the income spectrum. Yes. The middle income or upper middle income, it's not that they have tons of money, but I don't want to say they're recession proof, but they still have some income to splurge on the things that they would like or whatever. So I don't know how you can factor that in. The masses, those that are below the middle income uh, status may have a more difficult time. But I've said this before. People will find a way, and everybody will say, well, credit cards, well, that's their business, is whether they want to do things like that. But they'll find a way to get the things that they want. I mean, beyond just having to survive, that's a different story. But it will have an impact. I think you're right, but I don't know if it's such a giant impact. But you talk to somebody that is in that boat, they can't afford it. They're going to tell you that it's going to kill sales and everything else. So, and from their perspective, that's the way I guess I would see it as well. A lot of us, well, here on the channel, as you're looking at us, are older. So we've been down this road, and, we've had the opportunity to get a little bit, not prepare ourselves for this. That's just natural that we've prepared for it because we've seen this before in other decades. But, it's not gonna prevent everybody from buying a camera and a lens. And I understand too, Ray, if you're on fixed income, retired and on fixed income, depending on what you've done, as far as a career, yeah, it can be a challenge too. I understand that. And I'm not going to belittle anybody that is in that boat or any boat, or any stage where they can't afford to buy it. But I think that things are still going to sell. Cars are selling, TVs are selling, uh, iPhones are selling at a
I've
ridiculous
needed a new
price.
car for years, and I keep buying new camera gear instead.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I hear you. So there is a workaround, but it will have some impact. I agree, but I don't think it's devastating to the market. And I don't know. And a lot of people want to use the financials to say, well, this is why Nikon's tailoring or holding back or whatever because they're not going to be able to sell cameras because of the recession. No, I don't think so. I think Nikon knows all too well that people are going to be able to buy cameras. So that's just another excuse that we use to give Nikon a pass, which I don't choose to give them a pass right now. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do some fake crocodile tears because Mr. Moots is out, can't make it today because he's shooting with his new 400.
Yeah.
Can I get squirt some water in my eyes or some salt or something, get some tears flowing? I feel so
David,
bad for you, David. I mean, really.
David, I can't believe you'd rather go shoot a 400 TC than be in here in the live stream, buddy.
Doesn't want to be with his friends. He wants to go out and play. I'll tell you, that's
As
Yeah.
long as he shows us the
lack of respect.
pictures.
Lack of respect.
James is asking, James, is there a lens manufacturer? Does Nikon make the lenses? Google was not very helpful with this question. I don't know about all the glass, but going back to what Nikon said, earlier this year, very early this year, first quarter, talked about lenses, and there will be lenses that are going to be continue. They're going to continue to make lenses in Japan, not all lenses. Now, all the big glass, they didn't say it this way, but I think all the big glass, I'm talking elements, I think is probably going to be held to manufacture in Japan. But I can't answer the other lenses. Now, my
the PF definitely is because they're the only ones that make it.
right.
Yeah.
Now, my
Nikon's
one to
always made
400.
their own lenses, apart from these new Tamron ones, which are very strange,
Yeah.
like the 28 to 75 and that. I don't know if Nikon's making them themselves or getting them rebadged. Nikon's always made its own lenses
Yeah.
till now.
And the other thing is that we're in that in that case right now in the U.S. as far as manufacturing goes. We just threw manufacturing away over here. We just made it too costly or whatever for whatever reason. Now we are now a nation of assembly. So
Well, yeah, Businesses got too greedy is what it came down
I
to.
well,
I watched the electronics industry, which I was in my whole life, and I watched it go away
I
bit by bit by bit, so
so
that they could outsource it and pay nothing for labor. I mean, they were making
well,
aircraft stuff in Russia, and people were getting $15 a day and probably a bottle of vodka, and they didn't care how much scrap they had, because eventually the
yeah.
scrap would get less and less as they got a little better. But
So
it's sad. It,
all this to say that
yeah, horrible.
Nikon, Nikon may be in other countries as far as production goes, but are all the parts being manufactured there as well, the glass and everything else? I don't know. I don't think so. But, they could be the point of assembly, and
Yeah,
I
most
don't
of
have any.
Japan is assembly.
Yeah,
Like Fuji's, most of their plants are assembly plants in Japan. They get the parts from the Philippines and assemble them in Japan and put "Made in Japan" on them.
yep. Nikon is like living in an abusive relationship.
Mm.
Yeah, we get nothing back. So true, Ray. We get very
Nikon
we
used to Nikon used to make have Minolta make some accessories for their cameras and rebadge them as Nikons. A lot of the little brackets and things you used to get for Nikons were made by Minolta, which
yeah.
was quite strange, but not the lenses.
Uh,
Well, hey, as we already know, in many cases, even in Japan, they don't make a lot in Japan like they used to. They assemble stuff and they make it. They outsource their stuff partly for the same reasons that the U.S. did.
yeah, David, your comment here. Photography is about compromise. There are many ways to photograph the subject. Just what compromise are you willing to do? Absolutely. And again, that goes along with this comment here. And I guess that's what you were talking about, my comment about zoom lenses versus primes. Yeah, there you go, Albert. Thanks for summing it up, man. Zoom photography combines both intelligence and laziness all in one package. Yes,
Hey,
yes, I fit that description.
I'll take the smart and lazy route.
Oh, that's cool. Just got a like on your Instagram from Nikon Owner Magazine. Or does everyone get those?
I didn't even know there was a Nikon Owner magazine.
Hey, congratulations, regardless, out of a million people that are on there. I'm sure it's significant, man. That's great. Uh, so I don't know if you had your question answered. I'm behind again on comments. I'm willing to give up a bit faster frame rate for accurate lock on focusing. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good if you shoot fast and everything is out of focus. That's for sure.
Well, they're getting better. Mirrorless is now very good. They used to
Yeah.
have originally they had the problem with anything in the background was in focus, so that if you had a subject in the foreground, because it was out of focus, it couldn't focus on it. That's been fixed by many systems.
Hey, James, that's easy to answer. You buy the Z8 and take pictures and print them and give those as Christmas presents.
Mm.
I got an awful lot of pictures I got to give away for Christmas presents, I guess. Either that or give them away as a on my channel or something. I don't know.
Let me keep scanning and get down here to the bottom. So, what
Mm.
else is on your all's mind? Don't let us or don't let me drive the train. What's going on? What's going on in the photography world and your world of photography or whatever?
I like that mirrorless cameras you can almost adapt any lens you can think of to them. That short flange distance makes it very easy to adapt almost any lens.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move by Nikon. So they have these moments of brilliance,
And then
and
they don't.
it's kind of like the abusive alcoholic husband. You know, he has these moments after his binge and slapping his wife around or verbally abusing her when he comes in and gives her a new car to apologize. That's Nikon. We're sorry we haven't produced anything, but we got this new, fantastic tech camera that we're going to give you after a 2-year wait or whatever. Uh, there you go. Good morning, David. Yes, camera nuts. Absolutely.
That's us.
So true. So true.
Mm,
Yeah, it's a disease. What can we say?
mm. But it's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maz, sneaking in a Tuesday show. It's because we won't have one tomorrow unless Nikon drops something, and then I'll be live streaming in the car coming back Thursday or from the airport tomorrow.
Mm.
Oh, oh yeah, you missed it, man. And I felt bad because I thought maybe I ought to call Mozman and say, hey, you might want to get up for this. We're about to break the record. But then again, I didn't have your phone number and thought you might get a little upset. And
Mean.
the one night you leave early, exactly. And you were mentioned, though, of course. Shame you weren't there. But yeah, we finally got past 5 hours, and I am in no hurry to break that record to 6.
Hey, and
Still got a lot of viewers
I
considering
wasn't
it's a
there
long night.
for it either, Moz man. I ducked out a little early, so I wasn't there for the
Mm.
5 hours. I was wiped. I couldn't make it. I wimped out. I couldn't make it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I saw that. Hey, Mozman, you know who did? I'm sure you do because you're familiar with the story there about the $800 Z9s used on Amazon. Uh, I guess Peter over at Nikon Rumors bought one to test the waters, see if it's real. Yeah, I see somebody's already mentioned it here. Yeah, $800 used Z9.
Hard to believe.
Yep. If it's too good to be true, it is.
I remember
So,
that a few years ago, there's fake D750s coming out of China.
yep. I saw an article a few years ago. They intercepted a shipment of Canon cameras. I don't know which model it was, DSLRs, but they had a shipment. I don't know how many thousands of them that were counterfeit or, being made in China.
Mm.
Somebody, I don't know how they do it, but they had manufactured them and they were selling them as Canon cameras. That was big news.
It
Uh,
happens. Memory cards are very common to be fake.
yep. George is in here with us now. I guess you've been in here for a bit, George, but yeah, it is weird we're not hearing anything. That's the reason we're talking about it, I guess, is it's
Mm.
strange. I still say, though, utter silence does not mean nothing. Uh, so we're going to have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe, wait until Halloween. And that's going to be their trick or treat. Which one is it going to be?
Yeah. Yeah. Either they're going to go boo and scare us all, shock us all,
Yeah.
or we're going to get coal in our candy bags.
Yeah. Yeah, Maz, man, and some of them were talking about tracing, addresses and stuff like that. I don't know why somebody wouldn't do that before they jumped on something because I had to do that with somebody that wanted to buy my D5 when I was selling it, and I traced the recipient address and everything else, and they had gone to great lengths to convince me that they had put money uh, in my PayPal account, but it wouldn't be released until they received the camera. So I went right to PayPal, and of course, no, this is all bogus. This is all theft or whatever. But strange that a lot of people haven't or don't do that. You can't trust anybody anymore. You know, it's terrible. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that A7R5. Good to see you, Brian. Nice to see you in here. Yeah, it's kind of what started us off here talking about, Sony's got an official announcement tomorrow, the A7R5. Sounds like it's got some pretty unique features in it. Now I just need to see how they work, talking about an AI chip in it. That's interesting. 8 stops of IBIS. So
Mm.
and it's okay for people to announce these things, but now we just have to see if it lives up to some of these specs that we've got now, which have all been rumored pretty much. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow if the camera lives up to all the hoopla before it was announced. But good on Sony, good on Canon, good on
Yeah.
Fuji, good on Hasselblad. Nikon, can't put you in the news right now.
No, you go to Nikon rumors, and the only thing you hear is actually kind of bad news. That Tokina won't make any Z mount lenses. And
Yeah,
I personally, I don't have a lot of third-party lenses, but the few that I did own were Takinas, and I
No,
really liked them. So it's too bad. They do make some pretty good stuff.
I saw you over there typing, Roy. Did you answer this question? This is a good question. And I don't print Discover Nature Now, so I can't answer that.
I
So,
don't print that much either. I print on Fuji archive paper. It's crystal archive paper.
hmm.
That lasts for a very long time. But
This,
I don't do the printing myself that much anymore.
so,
Yeah.
and he's asking, what do you think of printing on aluminum? I wouldn't even begin to know.
Uh,
Um,
I know someone that has, and it all depends on the photo. Some look good on aluminum, and
it's
some don't.
it's a lot harder.
I mean,
It's
I
a lot
like.
harder.
I send my prints out to get made, and I have it
Me too.
on metallic pearlescent paper, and I love it. Colors pop like you wouldn't believe. Gorgeous. I do all my wildlife photos on, do pretty much all my photos on metallic pearlescent paper, other than when I'm shooting black and white, of course. But
Yeah, thanks, James. Yeah, folks, again, make me smile, make me want to continue to get up tomorrow morning and do this again or the next show. Drop a like, I appreciate it. And I'm also gonna pitch another photographer here, YouTuber, and so let me get on this little kick for a minute. I talked about it Saturday night. I'm going to continue to do this, and for all of my subscribers, I would appreciate if everybody would go over and not just check out D Moots Photography, and the link is in the description. All you have to do is click it and go there. You guys have seen D Moots on here, or David on here quite a bit. And again, I'm trying to help all the YouTube channels, especially those that we really like, to get them up to 1,000 subscribers. And I want you guys to understand when I say that, it's not about not just for the monetary benefits of being over 1,000 subscribers. It has more to do with pushing your content, because at the level that we are, under 1,000 subscribers, our content is not being pushed by YouTube at all. I mean, if it wasn't for word of mouth and things like that, or just happening by because we happen to use a tricky keyword or something like that to get people to stumble in and see our channels, we wouldn't have any viewership at all. So if you're a supporter of good content on YouTube, and you find some of these creators that you like, especially those that I'm going to mention because they are great people. Let's pick them up. Let's help them out, because no million subscriber channel is going to do anything for us. As a matter of fact, I've heard talking about this with a few other people that a lot of the channels, especially those in the 30,000 subscriber level, and take it for what it's worth. But somebody had said that, well, they don't want any competition. They're not going to subscribe to your channel or push your channel. So anyway, if you would, I'd appreciate it. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying go over to D Moods Photography. The link is in the description for this feed, this stream, and just subscribe. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to water it. You don't even have to go to the channel and watch it. I would suggest you do.
Even though he shunned us today, Chuck, to shoot with the 400 of all things.
Yeah,
Jeez.
well, he's out providing more content for everybody. There you go. So I just appreciate everybody. And each show, I'm going to mention somebody. I have over 180. I think I'm up to 190 something right now, subscribed channels that I'm subscribed to. Again, I'll say it again. I said it the other night. Some of them, I don't even know if they have any content anymore. But I'm not going to unsubscribe from anybody. If you would just go subscribe, help out the smaller YouTubers. If you want to fight the big giant YouTubers that you disagree with and sometimes even hate, well, help out the little guys and let them begin to build a channel that speaks more to your liking. And so I don't know how to say it any other way, but just go subscribe to them. So this week or this stream, D Moods Photography. David.
I like Osman's comment.
Let's see.
Hey, buddy, you kill me, my friend. You're killing me.
How far away?
He's the last. He's right at the top. He's the last comment. Unsubscribe to any channel that gets D400-28.
That's great. That's great. Oh man. All right. And Andy just said the R6 and A7R5 specs leaked. No news from Nikon. Yeah, Andy, we've been on that for a little while. Again, back to, Nikon, their marketing strategy. Don't tell anybody anything.
It didn't used to be like that. Years ago, you could contact Nikon and they'd tell you everything that's going to come out, and things have changed.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't
I miss
either.
those days.
Let's see, at a BNI event, networking with my next 10 clients. Great. Good for you, Ron. Glad to see you being a working photographer, man, you got to do what you got to do and get out there and network. Great. All right.
She Wade is in the house.
She Wade. All right. No problem, Ron. No problem, brother. You're here. You're here. All right.
You're here in spirit. We feel you. It's around Halloween. We feel your spirit. I'll get out my Ouija board. We can communicate that way.
He's already got the images right from the other day with that hair.
There you go. I like the sound of this, Mozman. Nikon's going to interrupt the Sony announcement, release a D500 replacement, Z8 and the ZF. Oh,
and
man.
the 200 to 600.
There you go. Yeah, you can't leave that off the plate. Oh, man. Oh, here you go. You were talking about this earlier, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Freezes, button, LCD feature or failures, and others. You can bet there's going to be a firmware update come out to fix some of these bug fixes pretty quick if it's becoming prolific. I haven't had that issue yet, but you did though, Jeffrey. So
yeah, just in the last week, basically just in the last week.
So how is it? How do these things, do they grow inside the camera and all of a sudden they're
and like I said, my 500 PF, I'm not so sure that's working right. But I mean, I went to shoot the other day with my friend, and I mean, I don't even think I took 20 pictures. There was nothing to take pictures of. So I can't beat the camera and the lens combo up enough to try to narrow it down as to, what it is that's failing, because like with the 500 PF on the FTZ, if I can get it to fail often enough, I can put a different F-mount lens on, and if those problems don't show up, then I know it's the 500 PF, But I have to have stuff fail consistently fail instead of being erratic for me to figure out whether it's the camera or the lens or the FTZ adapter, or I don't think it's the FTZ adapter. I mean, that's just a pass through. It doesn't have any brains in it.
Right.
As long as the pins aren't broken. And I
Yeah.
always clean the contacts on everything regularly, on my lenses and my adapters and everything else. So
No, this is something different though. You know it is,
yeah.
Jeffrey, because there are other people that are beginning to talk about it again. You know, that's why I asked: is it some kind of spore in the camera, electronic spore
Like
that grows? And
truck timer, you take so many thousands of shots and then they have it set to have it fail. I don't know. A Sony guy infiltrated Nikon and put a bug in the firmware.
Yeah. Here you go. David Brandsma talking about fellow dealer friend of his told him that November dealers will have open stock on Z9s. He just got 3 in last week, more to follow. Well, we called this earlier. You know, when I say earlier, I'm talking about back in January, February, that you know, everybody was saying that it's going to be, you know, all the comics out there were saying, well, you order now and get it in 2025 and everything else. You know, I could understand saying that to some extent when you're talking about something like a Z8, Z7 III, Z6 III, especially with the anticipation for those cameras. And more people are waiting for those than we're waiting for a Z9. I don't know where they came up with this idea that the Z9 was going to be, you know, out of stock for years. But anyway, it seems that we've finally hit that point where, okay, Z9s are in stock or close to being on the shelf cameras. And so again, you know, that was the big thing about 4 months ago or back in June when I was talking about the new cameras, and, you know, a new camera would come out in October. No, because they're not going to steal sales away from the Z9. I always love that, how people use that as a reason to not have a new camera, you know, not put out a new camera. Well, all right. So anyway, we know over here on our channel with all of our folks, we knew it. How come all the other people didn't? So there you have it. Thanks, David.
And Greg, to answer your question, I did not have these issues until I got my supposedly repaired 500 PF back. I did not have those issues show up.
Maybe you're trying a DSLR or something. See if it does the same thing.
Hey, so this is the only advice I can give you, Mike, is, you know, wait till Halloween, buddy. You can wait that long. It's not that far away. Because I have no idea, but I still hold out hope. And I do believe that there is a good possibility that we do hear something. So we have to wait and see. I don't know why they would push it this far, but who knows? Let's see. And a lot of talk about knockoff batteries and things over in the chat. Yeah, I see that going on, guys. And
the problem with batteries, that if they're cheaply made, they can expand in your camera and do quite a lot of damage.
I think that,
you know, a lithium ion can expand if it's too hot or too cold or overcharged. If they're badly made, they expand in your camera. You lost your camera.
Yeah, and I think they're talking about when I say knockoff, I'm not talking about their label on it, but, you know, Nikon knockoff batteries. And, you know, the Chinese are getting so good at this, man. And I know we all like that some of the cheaper, you know, things that we get out of China, but man, talking about stealing technology and everything else, and to the point of labeling, you know, good luck going to, you know, trying to challenge China on a patent breach or whatever. That's not going to happen. But you just got to beware, and it's tough.
Japan used to do the same thing years ago, back in the 70s, and that NEC used to copy the chips from America and everywhere and put them out themselves, and they used to do that. Now they don't. So maybe China will evolve too.
Yeah, Ozman's right, because I had the same thing, and I still have it. I have a very old Mac laptop And I did have the battery replaced because the case swelled up, and I had the battery replaced, and then I put some money into it, and I wish I didn't do it. I wish I just threw it out, but because eventually I ended up with a laptop that I can't upgrade, because they eventually what Apple likes to do is you go so far with your operating system on a certain hardware platform, and then they say you can't update your operating system anymore because your product's too old. So after I sunk the money in and put in a new battery and put in an SSD hard drive, and then like within less than a year, all of a sudden I couldn't upgrade my operating system anymore. So I just threw all that money away. That's all I did.
Apple started off as a very open company. Now it's a very closed system. All their new iPhones, every part in them is actually serial numbered electronically. So unless you're an Apple dealer, you can't repair them.
Nikon kind of took away some of that in the last couple of years, didn't they? They shut down a lot of the parts.
Third-party batteries and things.
Yeah.
I found out a couple of my batteries were fake because they didn't work in the new Nikons. Couldn't tell by looking at them, though.
Yeah, and here's the problem we run into. And I'm not saying that Neth, that you're telling a lie or whatever. The point is that people have had mixed results, no doubt about it, on batteries. And I've had mixed results on. I've only had a couple of Watson batteries that I bought that were actually good, and I'm not talking for my cameras, just other Watson batteries. And some people will swear by them. Some people will say don't ever buy them or whatever. So I think that extends to all those third-party batteries. There you go.
Hey, you're gonna put those in candy bags for Halloween. You can add a battery.
I could do that, yeah.
So I would tell people, caveat emptor, buyer beware. If you want to try it, by all means do. I don't have a problem with that. And it's great when you hear stories like this. I've been using these forever and never had a problem. I remember when XQD card came out with the D4, which they included with the D4 because there were none on sale. They weren't on the market yet. But anyway, everybody talking about it's not going to be any good. It's not going to be any better or whatever. And then when I would say, well, I've never had a failure on an XQD card, everybody called me a liar.
I haven't had a failure yet.
Yeah. So I can't speak to, the Amazon EL15 batteries. If you've had success with them, brother, great.
Some of the cheaper ones are a risk, though.
Yeah.
Not worth risking your camera over a battery, is it?
No, I still have a Watson charger, but I had Watson batteries, and they really screwed up my camera. It acted really stupid, and I sent the batteries back to B&H, and I got Nikon batteries, and the problem never came back. It was just because I was using the cheap battery. When I put the Nikon one in, I didn't have a problem. But everybody's story is different. Like Chuck says, some people could use that and not have a problem. Other people say I'll never buy it again. I don't know why it has to be a crapshoot unless the quality control isn't very good.
That's what I was going to say. You know what, Roy, or you know what, Jeffrey? It could be a case of their quality control is no good.
Yeah.
And so there are good batteries that slip through, and they probably have bad batteries that slip through and cause all these problems. But Nikon was trying to solve that with the chip and battery.
Yes. They still do.
So the camera would recognize, hey, this is not a Nikon battery. Let's see, I never had a failed battery or SD card. Hey, that's great, hero. I've had a couple, and I will say this: I have had a couple of SD cards fail, but just a couple. Not some people will talk about they've had many, and I don't know what the, or I don't know what
the failed ones.
Yeah,
I had a whole pile of SanDisk ones fail at one batch where the contacts delaminated and came off.
As
So
Mozman, you never make a statement like that in writing because now you've cursed yourself. You're going to have a battery crap out in the next week.
uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, man. But again, it goes back to third party lenses, third party peripherals, batteries, cards, whatever. Well, I guess all cards are peripheral or third party, aren't they? But my point is that take that chance if you want to. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. And if it works out, hey, you know what? You're a winner. That's just the way it goes. As long as whatever you're using as a third party item, it can't cause damage to your camera, then yeah, give it a try. You just have to be careful with things like batteries because I've heard stories. I don't know. I can't verify stories, but I've heard stories of people that have used third party batteries before and it crippled their camera. It bricked their camera. Could be all lies, sensationalism. I don't know, but I've heard that. So, you
I've only
take
seen
that
one
for
of those, but even charging the battery in your camera is a risk because if anything goes wrong, there goes your camera. I know a lot of people do it and they're probably not going to have a problem, but there's always a one.
Yeah. And how much risk do you want to take? There it is,
Yeah.
and I understand, batteries, especially Nikon batteries, the EL18s are not cheap batteries,
No.
but
Well, I think the thing is, if you buy third party or something off brand, buy it from a very reputable dealer, camera shop, so that if you ever had a problem, you're going to get a refund, you're going to be able to send it back.
yeah.
Don't buy it from Joe
Well,
Blow and
that
and
that
then
would
then you
that would that would be the case for the battery, but if it bricks your
yeah,
camera, you're out of luck.
yeah, Nikon's going to say you didn't use ours. Sorry, you're out of luck. We'll fix it, but we're gonna charge you.
Hey, Albert, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. It is nice. There are a lot of things coming out of China that I'll go to Small Rig. Small Rig, I think, is a great little company. Believe it or not, I think they're all the widgets and gadgets and brackets and camera plates and cages and everything that they're producing are reasonably priced, and they're actually good. Now, I guess what we need to be aware of is all the knockoffs for like batteries or Nikon batteries or whatever. Not just that, but also the batteries they're producing, an EN EL15 or EN EL18 or whatever. That's what you're taking a chance on. But yeah, I've got quite a few small rig camera cages and plates and things like that. I think it's been great. Um,
Someone had a question or made a comment that they were hoping that the CFE Type B cards would start going down in price, and the thing is they are, but when you look at the ones that are cheaper, and you may or may not need it depending on what you shoot, but the ones that are cheaper that everybody says, oh, why, wow, buy this, you can get a terabyte for X amount and it's like a third of the cost of everybody else. Those are all the ones that have very slow read write speeds. So if you need fast read write speeds, you're going to be paying for it still. If you don't need fast read write speeds, you can get a bargain. All depends on what you're shooting, what you're using.
Yeah, and going along with that, if you've got XQD cards, I wouldn't throw those away if you have a Z9 or anything else. I've
They're
been
fine for
shooting my
stills.
yeah, exactly. I mean, not at 130 frames per second, but or at 20 frames per second,
But
but
in your
for
studio, it's
well,
fine. In your
no,
studio,
exactly, and that's what I was going to say. For studio shooting, it's absolutely fine. They work fantastic. I've not had any trouble with that. But if you want just to have the super fast card so that at any moment you can click, jump over to 130 frames per second or 8K video or whatever, yes, then have a card case full of the high speed cards. So what I've done is I have 4 CF Express B cards that have the uh, meet the minimum write speed requirement for the Z9 for um, shooting at high frame rate. But that's all I've bought. And I use those specifically when I want to shoot, high frames per second. And I'm shooting XQD cards half the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
what I mostly shoot because they're reliable and they're fast.
Yep. And I have 128 gig cards too. Now, if I were to get real serious about video and want to start doing a lot of video, especially 4K RAW or ProRes, or ProRes isn't obviously isn't as big as RAW, or 8K or whatever, then yeah, I'm going to have to get larger cards. But I'm happy to see that the larger cards are beginning to come down in price, at least that are compatible with video. So.
Yeah, and you don't need the high speed for video either. So that's you need the high speed for when you're shooting at 20, 30 frames per second stuff.
And Mozman says he only buys Delkin and ProGrade.
Yeah.
That's what I have. That's what I have, Mozman. I have both, 2
Yeah.
ProGrade and 2 Delkin.
There's a lot of brands out there now that I wouldn't touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Pro grade as well. Yeah.
You know what? What's funny is 5 years ago, you wouldn't have touched Delkin either, probably. I've seen Delkin cards around for a long time, but all of a sudden, they're prominent when it comes to the CF Express B cards and speed. So I did not know about this. I haven't filled a card yet, so I wouldn't know. Z9 fills a card, it seems to freeze. Simply won't use XQD cards in the Z9 or medium format bodies that take CF Express Type B. Okay. Yeah, that's the one thing about when we got the upgrade for the D850, the firmware update to use CF Express B. That's when I began to play with CF Express B, and I was swapping back and forth XQD cards and CF Express B. Never had a problem at all, and definitely haven't had any problem with my Z9 or my Z6 or Z6 II.
It's a good
But
system.
again, yeah, well, it's in the CF Express B built off of the fundamentals of the XQD card.
Yeah,
Fundamental architecture.
People complain about the price, but comparing to CF Express Type A and SD cards aren't fast enough.
The
Or
A cards are slow and they're way too expensive. I really, other than I don't know, Sony's the only one using them, so that I know of.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And you know what? I've watched a little bit of Amar this morning. He's talking about the A7R5, and he was defending the CF Express A cards. I don't know how you can do that.
No, you can't defend. You could accept it, but you can't really defend it very well.
Yeah.
Other than they don't want to make the camera bigger to put in a bigger card.
Yeah. And how much? I've never even held a CF Express A card. How much size difference is there? I don't know.
They're much less capacity and they're much slower.
But I mean, the actual physical size of it.
I mean, maybe a little bigger than an SD card, but slightly bigger than an SD card.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot smaller than a Type B card.
Maybe it's the size of their cameras. Maybe they couldn't find enough room for it.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could think of.
Mozman. I'd never heard that before. This is the first time I think I've heard cute come up in cards. Oh.
Yeah. Mozman's going to start saying, "Oh, and if you buy this, you get this sexy card in the mail."
Oh, he clarified here. I agree with you, Z Wade. Why do they do that? Why do they do that because it makes them unique? Is that what it is? That we're different? Well, sometimes different's not good.
Well, the new Apple iPads can have a Type-C USB. They've gone back again.
Yeah.
Funny company.
Let's see. All right, gentlemen. I'm at an hour and 15 minutes. I will be right back. So Roy and Jeffrey are in charge. Throw all your toughest questions at them while I'm gone.
No, you give them to us. We'll write them down, and then we'll throw them back at Chuck when he gets back.
So the impossible questions, give it to them, man. Let them have it. And again, what's on your mind? We don't have to stick to this. What's on your mind? We can open this up for more discussion about whatever you guys want, as long as it has something to do with photography. All right, I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Well, I guess I could shame Z Wade here, or should I say She Wade. I managed to fill up my Z9 cards for the first time this weekend. Never used 20 frames per second so much than with that Wichita State University dance team. All right, we're not going to get into. It just seems interesting that the dance team drove you to fill your card. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that.
I never fill cards. I tend to shoot probably 24 or 36 frames at each job, and just from habit of film days.
Let's see what else we got.
That's a horrible thought. Z Wade in the dance competition.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like these card folks that were being praised for giving you a lot for the money, and it was very cheap. That's one of those things time will tell, And
it's not worth the risk.
If their quality isn't great, within 6 months you're going to know whether that's something that you're going to consider later on down the road. If you never bought it before, you start hearing the bad stuff, then you're going to ignore them and go with the high-end cards. I don't know. I just look at it this way: if you're paying basically $6,000 if you bought a Z9 after taxes, you're close to $6,000, and just put the good stuff in it, man. Don't cheap out. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
You don't want to lose all your files or your camera. If you regularly charge all your batteries, they last a lot longer too. Don't let them die down, because they lose charge over time.
I just have two batteries, and I'm constantly swapping between them. So one of them is always on the charger. So Mike's asking if he thinks the Z6 and 7s will have a stacked sensor.
Possibly. Whether they have shutters is a big question.
Yeah, there's the shutter part. That's especially if some of those error messages or some of those error failures have to do with the shutter shield too. Will they keep putting that in the cameras as well? I don't know. I like the idea of the shutter shield, but if that's what's causing my problem, then it's not like I won't like it, but I just won't be happy with Nikon that their quality control obviously is slipping.
I'm more upset that it doesn't run third-party flash, because all mine are Nikon, but compatible, but it just worries me that some flashes are not working with the Z9, whether they work with all the other cameras.
Yeah, I think I think the flash thing, especially if you're someone that's using it, if you're someone that's not using setting up areas at a wedding to do a lot of the formal shots, if you're a lot of photographers, not everybody has the money for that, and some starter photographers, they're using speed lights and stuff, and you need to have you need to have more flash units that work with the Z9. I mean, I think that's going to bite them in the behind. I mean,
Yes.
they're
might be
waiting
deliberately
too
locking
long
them
to
out.
fix that.
They could be locking them out the way they do batteries and things. I'd like to know what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, if Nikon's going to bed with a flash company, Pro Photo or whoever it is, then get the product out there. People don't want to have to second. I mean, buying a flash shouldn't be any more of a. It shouldn't be a science project. You should be able to get that as easy as you get a battery for your camera. And if you got to say, "Oh, I can't find anything out there that works seamlessly with my body," that's not a good thing.
Be prepared to be inspired. We have the man, the
Hog had any
legend.
flash problems, or
He's got the shades on. He's got the black hat on, the black shirt on. I am officially intimidated. I think I need to leave the show.
What's good, guys?
Well, I wish I could say Nikon.
Nervous.
They are good, but we're a bit perturbed. But other than that, everything's good, man. How about you?
Good, man. Good. Feeling great. Great morning. One day early, Chuck. It's good.
Yeah.
One day early. Yeah.
Yep, had to do it. I wasn't going to do the early morning show, so just get it out of the way. Tomorrow, all I have to do is get ready to travel.
Look at Moz, my friend.
My friend.
So Vaughan just dropped a video. If you guys haven't, I don't know if you've seen it yet. He's comparing the Z50 with the Z9, and it's almost scary.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have shot some RAW because I wanted to make it easy, quick. They're both JPEGs, but next time. But I am shooting on the Z50 now.
You got the Z50 in the stream now, huh?
Yeah, it's with the kit lens.
Well, it looks fine. I feel like I feel like I'm watching the behind the scenes of a radio show though, where they have those behind the scenes, and you get to see what's going on in the studio with this angle.
No, Rod, the Noct is not on the Z50. Think my name is Amar?
Z-Wade's got a nice video out on his view about the Z lenses, except he's finished halfway through.
Yeah. I jumped on that for just a few minutes this morning as well, Roy. He doesn't like plastic lenses.
I don't mind plastic lenses as long as they're reliable. As long as they actually plastic doesn't dent as easy.
Man, Moz, you cracked me up, man. I was on my morning walk and I was listening to the stream, and you guys cracked me up.
That's what it's all about, having fun.
We have to earn that check that Chuck sends us once a month.
Yeah, I know, man. I gotta hurry and get donations going on my channel so I can continue to pay you guys.
Yeah. Well, you just got to keep selling the photos that we send you once a month. That's it. You'll be good.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Martin.
Yeah, it's all right, Martin. I'm in another location. I don't have my lights set up, so we're not doing a studio portrait session here. So.
It's very acceptable. Jeff, here you go.
Hey, I just got to lower my chair and you'll think I'm that guy from the movies, Mini-Me.
There you go.
I just got to get lower. Get lower.
Hey, Chuck, what's with the $800 Z9?
Yeah, I ordered one too.
Yeah, I think they send you a T-shirt with a picture of one, and that's your $800.
So Peter over there said that he safeguarded himself, his credit card company, and I don't know what, Amazon, and he's relying on all the backup safety system for a bad purchase. But I think it's kind of fun though that he's doing this, going through it. If nothing
He's
else,
brave.
you know, if everything works out, I mean, if he gets a camera, we'll all be amazed. But if he doesn't, at least it's going to be some good learning for a lot of people when it comes to things like this, how to prevent getting caught up in fraud and everything else. So we'll see how it works out.
Well, Matt Irwin addressed something that I've had happen on many channels of people I follow, including Vahagen's channel one time. There are some guys out there that hijack. They look and see who talks in the chat and whatnot, and they'll say, "Oh, you've won a camera or you've won a prize, and call this number and all this stuff." And Matt Irwin called him out one time on it and said, "You see this on my website or on my channel? It's BS. It's a bunch of fraud going on." And there's somebody out there that does it on a lot of the YouTube channels. They try to tell you that there was a contest going on and you're the lucky winner. And I called knowing it was fraud. I called and played the game, and right away, they want my credit card number.
Yeah.
I was supposedly going to get a camera. And I flat out said to the person, "You're full of blankety blank blank. You're fraud. I hope you get arrested." And I just laid into him. I says, "You guys are scumbags." That's all I said. And I says, "You're a bunch of frauds." And you just get really upset with people that try to take advantage of people all the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's no stopping it, man. The fraud, and these guys are they're geniuses. They're just using that genius for the wrong thing, but they are absolute geniuses when it comes to that.
Yeah. They're smart in a bad way. That's the problem. They're smart in a bad way.
If they say, "Hello, my friend."
Amazon doesn't care what they sell. A lot of their stuff is fake or fraudulent.
Yep.
They're happy to take it back, but a lot of it is bad.
Hey, so I followed the seller's info on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the seller just joined Amazon.
Yeah, that came up in the chat. Somebody else had done that. They talked about that. Yeah, that's not a red flag. Come on.
No reviews. So you're asking for trouble. You probably get your money back, but still, why do that?
Maybe.
There you go.
Who's excited about the Sony?
Amar.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He's definitely keeping an eye on it. But I did watch a little bit of his video this morning. He was talking about, the CF Express A card. I'm sorry, I can't defend that, but he seemed to want to say it was a good idea by Sony. I don't know how. I didn't watch long enough to find out. I was getting ready for the show here. I don't know how it's a good idea by Sony, but whatever.
He's got a live stream in about 4.5 hours to discuss it too.
Is it that early?
I think it should be, about 4.5 hours, I think.
Is it tomorrow? I thought it was tomorrow.
Yeah, that is tomorrow here.
Oh, yeah. I forget you're all the way around the other side of the world from me. I'm sorry for all you wearing headphones, quality headphones, my chewing or eating peanut M&Ms.
That's how we know you're real, Chuck. If we didn't hear the M&M sound, we'd think that there was somebody doing fraud and looking like you.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, shoot any interesting birds lately?
Don't have any to shoot. It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm having a hard time finding anything to take pictures of. I'm actually going to probably go out this week with my friend and do some nighttime shooting, street photography at night. I'll do my Matt Irwin impersonation.
You going to get one of those motorized scooters to do it on?
I would kill myself on one of those. I'm lucky I don't fall down with my own 2 feet. I don't need anything under my feet. Believe me, I would not do well.
You know, it's funny. It's funny he mentions this here. You're right. The minute they announce a camera with a CF Express B card, then it'll be they're the greatest, and you know the greatest cards and everything else, and blah blah blah. As if we didn't know that already. There, Brian likes M&Ms. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate the support, brother.
That's what you do. You know, Grace has the coffee fund. You have the M&M fund.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Well,
Problem solved. M&M fund.
One of these days, I'll be able to do that. Have an M&M fund.
Yeah.
I think right now YouTube is hiding my content.
Chuck, are those the same bags?
Yeah, this one. That's why I bought the. What is this?
It's like the 5-pounder.
Yeah. Almost,
He's M&M powered.
Yeah.
almost 2.5 pound bag, 2 pounds 6 ounces.
Those are the best ones, the peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm good. Good thing you're not a diabetic, Chuck.
He will be soon.
I don't know. I think last count, I quit looking, to be honest with you, because I get discouraged with how many people unsubscribe.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't. Yep, here we go. We were 664 this morning, and now we're at 663.
Chuck has good genes, man.
Yeah, he does.
Sugar, coffee, like 10 cups a day.
He kind of has that Chuck Norris look going on, I think, you know.
You eat anything and everything, right, Chuck? Like burgers, pizza.
Yep.
Do you work out?
Yep.
You do?
Yep, right here.
He has the strongest jawbone of anybody on this channel from chewing all those M&Ms.
No, I've been this way all my life. My wife is just, it drives her crazy that I have a metabolism that can just burn calories like there's no tomorrow. And I'll tell you, it has nothing to do with anything I do. I was just blessed with it. I guess it's a blessing. I always said that if I ever got fat, I'd get very fat because I'm not going to change eating the things I like.
I'm the only guy that can gain weight by looking at a piece of cheesecake. I don't even have to eat it. I just got to look at it.
That's my brother and so many other people that I know. But yeah.
I had a friend like that. He would eat double what I eat, and he was like skinny as a toothpick. It's like, wow, man. That's crazy.
That's just the thing. Some people, you know, have that kind of metabolism. And I don't know why. Again, it has nothing to do. It sure has nothing to do with the way I eat because I'm about eating what I want and what tastes good. Whole Foods would go broke if they relied on me to buy groceries there. There you go. Public awareness campaign to get M&Ms for Chuck. I'll agree with that.
Aren't they just like Smarties, the old Smarties, though? M&M's like Smarties? Or are they just different?
Oh, very much different.
Very much different, yeah. Smarties were pure sugar.
Well,
At least you get a peanut in the M&M.
well, Europe and other places, I think they have Smarties that are chocolate, candy coated chocolate. Is that the ones you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not near as good as M&Ms.
Hey Chuck, I'm impressed with the Z50, man.
I am too.
Very impressed. You have one?
No, I'm impressed
Oh.
by what I see. You know, watching your video.
I mean, it acquires focus like easily. It's a small little camera. Video is okay. I mean, but the still side of things is really good for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a good camera.
Well,
and I'd rather have this one than the Z30. It's
yeah.
the same camera.
Like I said, now the Z50s are going to be hard to get because you did that video. Now everybody that was waiting on a Z8 is going to go buy a Z50.
No, it's real impressive. The battery life can be a little better, but you know, the batteries are smaller than a Z6. But yeah, other than that, still side of things, it's good. 11 frames per second. I had one before, but I really didn't play with it. I got this one on Sunday. $450, man, with the kit lens.
You're the king of the deal, man.
Small rig with the small rig plate, a 128 gigabyte SD card, the 16 to 50 lens, and the camera. The camera has 1,500 shots on it. I asked the seller, I go, what is the shutter count? She tells me, oh, I don't think it's more than 5,000. You know, she was really cool. She was not into photography. She just bought it for social media. And she told me that the reason why I'm selling is because the iPhone does everything I need. So I don't really need this camera. She's a baker. And I'm like, cool. Took it off her hands. She wanted 6. I offered 450. She said yes. It's all good.
Hey, David, you know, I mean, I could put a PayPal link on the channel, but I don't know if YouTube will even allow that. But you know, again, getting to 1,000 subscribers, that will be nice to be monetized, and maybe I can do some of those things too, which I wouldn't turn down, because just paying for peripherals to run the stream all the time, you know, it would help out tremendously if it just paid for restream every year. But the big thing is just pushing the content. You know, you can't grow if people don't know you're here. And I don't understand their philosophy behind this, but you know, in their algorithm system and how they push channels and whatnot. But if they don't put your content out there, how are you supposed to grow? Maybe that's their whole point. They don't want anybody else to grow. I don't know.
I'm starting a drumstick fund or drumhead fund.
Chicken or turkey? Yeah, Gray's has their coffee fund. Yep. Yep, they do. And yeah, I mean, obviously, and I've had a lot of people ask why, you know, why I don't put something up or whatever, because there have been a lot of folks that are very nice and have said, you know, I'd like to donate, but you know, you don't have any way to donate. And maybe that's something I could check on with YouTube to see if they will allow you to put your own. But I think that's going to be an absolute no. I think they've got the market on that, because, you know, even with the super chat and all that, they're taking money from that, you know, a handling fee. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. If we ever get to 1,000, I'll let you guys know.
Here's what they call Smartie. This is what Smarties are in the U.S. They're just like sugar, pure sugar candies.
Yep.
So we do have Smarties, but it's not what Roy has where he is.
I'm not really into sweet stuff as much. I'm not fond of sweets and things, not like Chuckies.
Yeah, I've got a sweet tooth, no doubt about it. But maybe that's it. I'm like a hummingbird, man. I gotta have that sugar for energy.
No, if it was called My Friend Fund, nobody would donate.
They want to know who the friend is that they're sending the money to. Send it to Mozman. We'll send My Friend Fund will go to Mozman.
Hey Z, I'm a weirdo, man. When it comes to stuff like that, I just feel like that's like begging for money. I don't know, and I don't want to be seen as that. You know, I'd love to do the super chat or something like that. I think it would be it'd be fine because then people, you know, if they want to donate something to it, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine too. And I guess you could say the same thing about the PayPal donation link in the, but that just, I don't know. I like him back to, Mr. Angry Photographer. I don't accept, I don't monetize the channel or whatever he says, yet he's got a PayPal link or something in there. If you would like to, though, hey, here's a opportunity to support.
Nothing wrong with you trying to get a little bit of voluntary funds to help support what you have to lay out in costs to run the channel. I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess my wife gets on me about this all the time too. You know, I don't like to owe anybody anything, so I'm just weird.
Send your money to Jeff and Leslie's new camera and lens fund.
There you go. You know what? I would be, you know what? If somebody did that, I would be more apt to send them money for being honest, you know, about it. I really would.
Well, actually, Chuck, you could be monetizing your channel because there are definitely some T-shirts with certain slogans that you use that would be people would buy the T-shirts, and they're getting something for the money, so there'd be nothing wrong with that.
I just, you know, it's funny. Since all this began, I have researched and looked at some of the, you know, places that you can have shirts made or whatever. I guess I need to go through with that because I found a place where at least you can get 100 T-shirts printed. They supply the shirts and everything for $400. That's probably not a bad price. I looked at the quality. Quality looks good, but here's my dilemma: when it comes to sizing, I have no idea of trying to figure out what sizes should I order. You know.
Hey Albert, yeah, that test. For DX, when you're shooting DX on both cameras, they're pretty much identical. I mean, I don't know what you've got, what you guys noticed. I give the nod to the Z9 just a little bit on DX, but everything else, as far as feature, speed, autofocus, video, you know, handling, build quality, everything else, the Z9 smokes it, obviously. But in that criteria alone, DX, and I was surprised that the Z9 is almost the same resolution as that DX sensors from in Nikon cameras.
Well, it makes sense because the number of pixels per inch is going to be the same because they're probably both at about the limits for their sensor.
Yep.
That would be the same way for me, Z. I'd have to pay people to wear them. Hey, yeah, Muzzman, I don't need grits. I want grits. Not entirely true for me, but
I still don't know what grits are.
it's basically
similar to sand that they make optics with. It can make grit lenses.
Which one is that, Vahagan?
Is that one of those TT Artisan?
The Helios.
Mm.
Okay.
Russia.
44 to 58 millimeter f2 lens.
M42 mount.
Yes.
Mm.
And I got my adapter yesterday. Screw mount.
Screw mount,
The
yeah.
adapter probably cost more than the lens.
No, well, yeah, the lens was about $40, but yeah, can't wait to shoot with this guy.
Well, look, we're all going to harass you. We can't wait to see your review of the Noct.
Yeah, I'm planning that right now. I just want to take it to a nice location, you know, get some nice shots. I just don't want to do like, I don't want to shoot trees and then like, you know, I want to take it to like nice, I want to do some street photography at night.
You need to link up with Jeffrey for his night street photography quest.
All right, Jeffrey, come on
Yeah.
over.
I'm going to sneak out, I think, this week with a friend, maybe tomorrow night.
Do
some night shots.
It's nothing but ground corn.
This is what this lens will look like on a Z camera when attached. With the adapter, and this is a Z mount adapter. So
Interesting lenses, those Russian lenses, but bit of a lucky dip, I think, whether you get a good one or a bad one.
yeah, I like the way the aperture ring feels. It's smooth. The focus ring is smooth too. And for video, this is going to be really cool. This is famous for the swirly bokeh.
Yes, copy of the old Zeiss.
I think Z-Wade would like this lens.
I like those old Zeiss lenses, even the East German ones.
James has this lens too. What do you think, James? He's shooting squirrels and birds. No, I don't know. So let me see. That 400 weighs 6 pounds, Jeff.
The 2.8?
Yeah.
2.9
Yeah,
kilos.
yeah, about 6 pounds, yeah.
What does the 600 FL weigh? Just to compare, because I know what that feels like. Let's see.
That's considerably more.
The lightest 600 is about 3.8 kilos.
That's got to be double digits, isn't it?
Yeah, probably at least 50% more.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. 8 pounds.
8 pounds.
2 more pounds. It's 8 pounds, 6.4 ounces. 8 pounds, yeah. 3,800 grams.
It's another reason I went for the 4.5. It's still lighter. I've got the old 400 AFS version, the 2.8, but that's heavier still.
But that's not bad, even for a 600. 8 pounds is not bad. What did the G version weigh? A lot. I think it was heavy.
Yeah, most people I know that shoot with 600s are pulling them around in a little wagon. they got a couple lenses in a wagon with a camera bag, and they're dragging it behind them.
One goes in the boot of the car. It doesn't
The
leave the car very far.
The G version weighs 11.2 pounds.
Mm.
So you're talking a lot more. If we go back before that, AFS 2. Wait.
Yeah, Albert, call in when Chuck gets back. Chuck's back.
He's back.
Sorry,
Albert wants to call in Chuck talking about the adapter for the lens.
All right, buddy. Hang on just a second.
It's a dumb M42 mount, isn't it?
Hey Siri, how many pounds is wait, I forgot.
Here's what I found.
Hey Siri, how many pounds is 4,700 grams?
That would be 10.36 pounds.
Huh. That's interesting. Hey, AGAM, what's a Purdy shuffle? What is that?
Okay, Albert.
Oh, it's a drum thing. Okay. I don't know about all that, man. I just know how to rock. Paradiddle. I know what a paradiddle is.
All right. It's weird hearing myself through the headphones.
Big.
What?
I'm going to predict our buddy Dave Moots is going to be sending you a picture from that 400 for your photo review session in November.
Yeah, I bet that may be the case.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, thanks for bringing that up, Jeffrey. I've already received quite a few photos from people. I sent an acknowledgement. There were a couple that I haven't actually downloaded yet. So if you sent it and you haven't received a confirmation, just hang on. But so people are already sending photos in. So anybody that wants to participate in our photo review, Saturday, November 5th. That's the first Saturday in November. We're going to do another photo review, and so far we've had a lot of people participating and had a good time. The only requirement is I ask that it's obviously JPEG and that it's 2048 pixels on the long side, whether it's vertically or horizontally, wherever the long side is, it's at least 2048 pics. So. And if you would, in the email, when you send the email to me with your photo attached, just place in the subject line "Photo Review November" or something along that line, so I can pick it out of the multitude of emails that I get a day. And I'll make sure I get it in the folder. And on Saturday the 5th, we will have another good time reviewing everybody's work. When I say review, for those that don't know, we're not critiquing. There may be some comments about what people think or whatever, but we're just going to talk about your photo and give you a chance to show what you're doing with your cameras and lenses and what you're shooting. It can be a current photo. It can be something you've done 5 years ago. It doesn't matter to us. It's not a contest anyway. So, just pick the photo you want to show that expresses your work, and we'll have a good time on Saturday. All right, there you go. Yeah, and I'm sure David's got some photos.
Oh, he'll have a bunch of them by the time by the time the fifth shows up, I'm sure.
All right. All right, Albert. Anytime you want to call, brother, we're up and running.
Yeah, that 600 is probably going to be as heavy as the old one, the new Z version, or nearly. It looks heavy, looks big and heavy.
There you go, Vahagan. You need a D1X.
There you go. Anybody that's been longing for a D1X, James has one.
It's funny,
I've got one.
the E lenses.
I'm sorry if I'm not shocked.
I think you have every Nikon body ever made, Roy. I think you got them all.
I haven't got an F6 and I haven't got a D6.
Okay.
I skipped those two.
The end of both, right?
Yes, it is.
The end of DSLR flagship and the end of film, I guess, film bodies, right?
Mm.
I got a question for Roy. Why doesn't the D2 series of cameras and before?
Sorry?
Why
about the
doesn't
D2?
the D2 and before cameras? Why don't they stop down on E lenses? You can shoot them. Why
electronic. P lenses are electronic shutter.
The E lenses?
Doesn't have the
P lenses
mechanical
are
lever.
electronic shutters on them. Electronic aperture, sorry.
Okay. So that's D2 and before, right? Not
Yeah,
D3 is fine. Yeah. D3 is fine.
that's right.
That's why I say if you could find a good D3X, you'll love that camera. I love it. I love mine. All right, sorry, Chuck.
No,
I know you don't like old gear discussion.
that's fine. That's what I said. Today.
Chuck's favorite line. Hey, Chuck, another T-shirt quote. You could say vintage cameras. You could say they were good in their time. That would be your slogan for the shirt. They were good in their time.
Hang on a second. All right.
They were good in there.
All right.
Hello?
Albert, how are you, buddy?
Good, and you? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Everybody can hear you, Albert. All right, good.
Okay, can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I just wanted to ask Hagen about his adapter because on an episode about a month ago, he mentioned that he gets a lot of chromatic aberration with his adapters.
Right.
So I wanted to ask him if the painting on the outer layer of the adapter is the same as the interior of the adapter. Because if the paint is the same, then it's a cheap adapter. It has to be a matte finish inside, kind of a flat black finish, in order for you to not get those light contamination that comes with the cheap adapters.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a $12 adapter, so probably it has that.
That explains it.
Did you hear him?
No, I cannot hear him. What I can tell him to do is, if the paint on the outer layer and the inner layer of the adapter is the same, to go buy a black matte finish and respray the inner part of the adapter, okay, to get rid of that gloss, okay? Then he could add a clear matte finish, which they also have, okay? I'm working on something that's super black that kills about 98% of the light inside the adapters, okay? And I'm waiting on the paint from China. It's really hard to get. You know, I'm trying to create a black hole inside the adapter to kill all the chromatic aberrations that come along with it. So as soon as I get that and I get it in my hands, I'm going to show it to all of you guys. Okay? It works exceptionally well. I already did one test and it works marvelously. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that.
Yeah, man. So when are you going to be able to go live with us?
I can come on any time. The problem is that, you went away, you had to travel, and I was not busy because I had slow time at work.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little bit busier because now it's the holidays. But I should be able to come on this Saturday. Okay. And I also want to apologize to you guys because I've held out on a lot of information that I could have provided for you guys. But out of fear of being perceived as a know-it-all, I kept my mouth shut.
No,
Okay.
no, you don't worry about being perceived any one way or another. It doesn't matter. You know what you're talking about, and that's the big thing. Is come on, especially when it comes to I keep bragging about you and adapters and some of this unique glass, man. I haven't found anybody else that talks about that. It's not like, and we're not talking just the new mega dep adapter. I mean, you've got, how many adapters do you have right now?
I told you I had 40 on air. One episode, I got about 80. I'm not lying. I can prove it.
I know. But so
I also told you that I had over 30 medium format lenses. I do. I don't know why I did that. I opened my mouth. I normally don't do that. But I have Kawa, I have Hasselblad, I have Pentagon 6, Bronica ET, Bronica S2, okay, among many. And I adapt them all to the F mount, and I speed boost all of them. Also, I have the Mamiya one, and I got the Mamiya speed booster for the Nikon Z6, okay? So I'm speed boosting the Mamiya on the Nikon 662. And it's awesome.
So
I want to show you guys that.
But you are a know-it-all, because I don't know of anybody that has all these speed boosters, adapters, and unique glass. All right, so let's just cut to the chase right now. You are the know-it-all right now, at least for any. I don't know anybody else that has that. So
Mothman knows because he's asking me if I'm trying to get Black 3.0, and that's exactly what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get the spray paint version of it, which is it's not available commercial.
Okay,
so it's not available commercially. You can get a little tiny bit of the of that black that kills 99% of the light.
Yeah.
But you get it in a thick, bad spray paint. Okay. Yeah. So I've been working for the last couple of months. I've been going to the boondocks of the internet trying to find this. It's almost impossible to find. But I found a company that has it, and I've been waiting for a month. So as soon as I get it, I'm going to let you guys know.
Yeah, so that's a whole episode, Albert. When you get
a whole episode
because there are people out there that are going to want to do this.
Okay, not a problem.
Carbon black, is it?
I'm trying to speed boost the Bronica Core S2 lenses onto the Mamiya 6.4 mount. Okay, I have the speed booster. It's a hard one. I may have to cut the lenses, but I'm going to do it.
You're making my head
I've already
hurt,
adapted about 12 mounts that there's no existence of as far as parts being known for.
You're going to fry Chuck's brain, Albert. He's starting to shake and turn red.
No, wait till you see this. I'm going to send you some, I'm going to call you, or you can video call me, so I can show you some of the equipment that I have, so that you can see what people like and what they want to see. I apologize if I held out. I felt bad, but, you don't want to come up as a know-it-all. I'm a lens nerd.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about those that might comment about that. I'll take care of them. You just get the information out, because there are a lot of people that would like to hear this, even if they're not going to do it. It's interesting.
Yes. Like I said, I have over 35 at least medium format lenses, and they're all in pristine condition. So no dust, no nothing. They're all brand new. It's taken me decades to do this, and I want to share it with you guys. So
yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. What did you say, Roy? You made a comment there.
There was a couple of years ago. There was this nano carbon black coating that's supposed to be close to 100% non-reflective that came out, and you don't see it anymore. You get these tiny little bottles of it. I wanted to get some to put on the inside of lens hoods and things.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't suppose you could hear him.
I can hear him. He's talking about the bottles of the 3.0.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I've been trying to get that for a long, long time, and spray. Me too. And it's really hard to get in spray. I mean, it kills almost 99% of all light, okay, inside the adapter, okay? And what that does is it increases the micro contrast in the lens, in the sharpness. You would be amazed at how that light travels through that sensor most people are not familiar with it, there is chaos going on in there. And any adapter that has reflective light is going to cause chromatic aberrations. It's going to kill sharpness. It's going to kill everything.
Okay.
Okay. It makes a world of a difference.
And Mozman says Vanta Black is the darkest, but you can't buy it.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to get my hands on that in the black market. So
most people are looking for guns and drugs on the black market.
I'm surprised Moss knows about this. I'm actually surprised that Moss is onto this.
You got a deal going on in the back alley in New York City for Vanta Black.
No. I've been trying to get this. You have no idea, Chuck.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get this. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you guys a link of a video that explains it. It's right here on YouTube. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you guys can watch it and you could see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to hang up and I'm going to email you and I'm going to show you some of the things that we have here to show. Okay. And you guys pick and decide what you want to see.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, yeah, man. And Andy, AJM 057 just sent you a comment. Have you spoken to the folks at, what is it, Actar Limited?
Like I said, I've spoken to everybody. I've been looking for this about a year now. I've been looking at this almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
Okay, and I've been trying to find other solutions, and they work. Okay, but this is like really hardcore stuff. This is for nerds.
Yeah,
okay?
and Mozman
this is not for Jared Pollan.
Yeah, Mozman just put up a comment, said if nobody is aware of Vanta Black, let me put it up here on the screen. Nobody's aware of Vanta Black. You have to watch some videos of it. It's amazing stuff. Cool. All right.
Okay.
See, this is why I want you on the channel.
Knows about it. At least somebody knows what I'm talking about.
This is why I want to get you on the channel, man. You got all this knowledge, and I mean, a lot of people have bits and pieces of it, but you know, this is what you've been living. You know, it's your passion, and
yes.
And you know, people that have questions about it, they're sure not going to ask me because they're going to get, I don't know.
Hey,
all
Chuck,
right. We also custom make adapters. I do that as well. Okay. So I can do a lot of bizarre things. I have projection lenses. I have X-ray lenses. I have anamorphic lenses. I think I'm saying it wrong, but
anamorphic. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We have all of that. So we do all of it. So, okay.
All right,
I can't wait to show you guys, okay?
I can't wait for you to show us, too. I've been talking to you for a while about this.
Yeah, you're building me up. I'm getting nervous.
No, man. No. Don't worry about it. It'll all become natural because I've seen you in action. Your passion overrides any nervousness.
All right. Well, I'm going to hang up and let you guys go.
Wait,
I'm sorry I interrupted the show.
Wait a minute, because Vahagan had something. What was that, Vahagan?
Just ask him what type of spray is that?
What type of spray again is it?
He can give him my email so I can give him all the information.
I absolutely will.
Or I can, because it's not a name brand thing. It's a black market thing. So it has no name. It might go by 10 different names.
That's the reason he's asking. It's going into the Ukraine.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
No. It's going into the Ukraine mafia system right now.
Hey, I have a lot of connections for lenses in Ukraine, and I have a lot of Ukrainian lenses as well.
You got to talk to the right people. Some people can get.
I have about 6 lenses from Ukraine, from the Oslo factory, which are excellent.
Okay.
I can't wait to show you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, man. I will make sure he has your email address.
Okay. He can contact me anytime he wants. I'm available. Anyone here that needs to know anything about adapting or anything like that can reach out to me. I'm available for everyone.
All right.
Albert, just remember, I'm a comic book nerd. So remember, with great power comes great responsibility. I'll leave it at that.
I'll be responsible. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I promise. Okay, gentlemen.
Yeah, look, here's another comment. No, I'm not letting you go until I address everything, brother. You're way too valuable here. Awesome. Thank you, Albert. It's going to be interesting.
Right.
So
I can't wait to come on the show. Okay, and see all you guys.
All right, brother.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, man.
I just wanted that black paint to coat all the insides of my lens hoods.
Yeah. So before it was paint, it was flocking. Flocking was that I don't know what it was, but it had the it felt like I don't know. Yeah, there you go.
You get felt inserts too in these lenses and things.
Yeah, well, film cameras didn't they have it in
Yeah,
their film
they use
backs?
felt a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's going to be cool, and I'll definitely get you his email address here, uh, Vahagan.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
I can't wait to get him on here. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Again, anybody that's played with that many adapters, and so I guess what I'm gonna put him on the spot here. You guys, anybody that wants to know how to adapt any lens to any camera,
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be like he's using medium format on 35 millimeter, or mirrorless. So
yeah, yeah,
he's not using just one style of lens. He's using everything.
no, yeah, and I tell you, he's an amazing guy to sit and listen to. When I went down to New York City, we did our photo walk. At the end, we went over. He wanted to show us, some of the items and things that he's playing with, and I was just amazed. Again, it's not something I'm doing or whatever, but I'm still, intrigued by this whole possibility of adapting any kind of lens and using adapters and everything else, and even the projector lenses. You have no aperture, you have no shutter or blades or anything in a projector lens. It's just a lens straight
Or in
through.
larger lenses.
Yeah, and it was incredible. I got to play with it there on the side of the street in New York City and thought, wow, who knew? Well, obviously he did. All right.
Hey, they're discounting that Tamron Nikon lens. $300.
Wow.
24 to 85. Is that it? Or 24 to 75?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I got lost there talking about audio. Mozman, never mind. It switched to AirPods, and I'm not wearing them. All right. Oh, okay.
Is it still blocked from pre-ordering those 800s or the 400?
800 is still rare. Too hard to get.
I don't know if that's a good question. Was it ever blocked, or was it that dealers maybe they were asked to not take any more orders, so dealers were doing it? Is that the case, or?
No, I think it was Nikon themselves.
Here, let me
Would
do this.
not
Let
would
me do
not
this.
process any orders for any new. Would not process any new orders.
I'm
But I don't
adding.
know if that changed or not.
I'm adding to cart and I'm checking out. Let's see. Let's see. Add to cart, check out.
Just hope it doesn't say thank you. Your card has been billed 14,000 and change for the 400.
Yeah, I'm doing the 800 just in case.
You're like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh.
It's okay. Let them send it to me.
They should send it to you so you could review it.
Now that's another story.
Yeah.
That's another story. Yeah.
Yeah, the 14. You know what? I'm going to check that right now.
All right. So it says estimated total 0. So it doesn't even let you. It's not even getting in the. It's not even billing in the cart. Let's try the.
Yeah. Todd just commented that as of last week, according to the dealer, Nikon is still not taking any orders on the 400 or the 800.
So that was the 800. Let's try the 400.
Yeah.
Let's see. Come on, this website.
Yeah, I got to start liquidating, man.
Do it. Do a special show on that. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. Make up a list, Chuck, put it on your show, dedicate a half an hour of your show and list everything you got and what you want for it and try to get rid of it. Because all that stuff, I'm sure all your stuff is in mint condition.
Yeah, I have one lens that has an issue, nothing to do with shooting, other than the fact that you can't use the switch. It's an 85 1.4. You can't use the switch on the lens to switch to manual focus. I don't know why. should have sent it back a long time ago to Nikon. And my 35 millimeter Art Sigma, it's slow to autofocus, but everything else, you're right. It's all in mint condition with boxes. I know that's controversial now.
With boxes, yeah.
Both the 800 and 400, no dice.
All right, so they haven't lifted that yet.
No.
Nope. When you go to checkout, it says 0 balance. So, and there's no attachment.
I'm going to tell you guys a funny story because this happened to me the other day, and I was shaking my head and I couldn't figure out why it was happening. And it was early in the morning. It took me more than a few minutes to figure out. Personal grooming is very important for photography. On the on the Z9, you have that sensor. Like I have my Z9 set up to prioritize the viewfinder. When I take my eye away from the viewfinder, if I hit my playback button, the image will show up on the rear screen. So I was trying to look at a few pictures that I took on the rear screen, and the image wouldn't show up. I'm pushing the button, pushing the button, pushing the button. Image wouldn't show up. I go, what's going on now? And I'd see like a light flashing in the viewfinder. So I'd look through the viewfinder, and if I hit the playback button, it would show up in the viewfinder. So I looked to make sure I had my, the button on the left-hand side of the pentaprism that you could change, whether you're prioritizing the viewfinder or how you're setting that up, and that was set up properly. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't see the image on the back of the viewfinder. And it ended up being that a hair fell off my eyebrow because I don't have anything up here. That's the only place it could come from. My eyebrow was laying across that eye sensor, and it thought I had my eye looking through the viewfinder, so it wouldn't switch to the back. So if you have long, bushy eyebrows and you lose a hair on that sensor, it is so touchy that
Well, we hope it's from your eyebrows anyway.
Yeah, you'll think your camera's broken, and it's not. It's just a stupid eyebrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Funny.
I don't know how many people I've seen posting comments on the Z9 forum complaining about they can't get it to work. And usually, and most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, it's did you clean the little window under the viewfinder? Yeah, and that takes care of 90% of the issues. I don't know why. As many times that's been on that thread, I don't know why people haven't seen it and recognized it. But yeah, I had the same issue on the Z6 II. It didn't take long. Okay, let me clean this thing off and make sure that there's nothing obstructing it. And sure as the world, there it is. That's what it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beware of bushy eyebrows.
J Rod says She Wade has that issue all the time.
I don't know. James was the problem though.
James wants to know, is there any hurt in telling us where we are on a waiting or order list? I can't see how there is, James, but I don't know why they do that.
Hey, do you guys think Nikon should revamp their whole NPS order strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be based on the point system only. It should have nothing to do whether you're making a living using your camera, because there are a lot of non-professionals that own more gears than the pros do, and that's where they're making their money. They're not making their money on the pros. They're making their money on crazy people like me and Chuck.
Yeah.
That's where they're making their money, man.
Yeah.
Jess Breed, how are you, sir? Long time no see. You been busy?
He says he's in the UK now. Wasn't able to join.
Oh, okay. In the UK as in visiting, or in the UK is now that's going to be home? Let's see. Yeah. 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 Shave your eyebrows off.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good look.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. Well, if I do that, I'll go out trick or treating. I don't know. I might get candy.
There you go. That's a good question. How many cameras would a good photographer need? I can answer that, even though you put something there. More. Period. Just more.
Mm.
Well, you're going to always want at least that many.
Well, well,
You need a backup.
the old military logistics saying two is one is none.
And a
Hey,
spare.
Chuck,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yes, sir.
check this out. I'm gonna share it real quick. Someone's selling a very good lens. This lens is rare. Hold on. Right here. Canon FD 8512L. This is a very rare lens. Which, if you could find a clean copy, look at this thing. This thing looks mint. It's the old FD mount before
Okay.
the F mount. But I've had one of these in the past, and I sold it like an idiot. But it is a very good lens. Wide open, bokeh is incredible. Man, these old FD 1.2s are awesome. The L mounts. Anyway,
Cool.
yeah, we're
Yes.
good on this.
Jess Breed, I'm with my uncle now. Good, man. Glad to hear that. All right. That means we get to see you more here. No excuses now.
Good to be with family, man.
Yep.
Enjoy your time. That's great.
Hey, Andy's saying NPS Europe membership is free based on gear owned, but we get far, far less than you folk. That said, Rob and the NPS UK team have been great for me. Okay, man. Good. Good. Just a quick question. How old is Rob? You may not know. I think that's part of our problem. Oh, let's see.
I think there's 3 tiers of NPS here: the free one and 2 paid ones. But you have to be in the working professional and have certain gear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm okay with a certain gear part, certain level of gear, certain level of ownership, but I have a problem with having to derive your income using it.
How about whoever orders first gets their lens first? How about that?
Yeah.
Sounds
Be a
fair.
novel approach, wouldn't it?
No matter what you are, you got cash. That's it.
Well, a lot of the pros would be disappointed because the amateurs would put their money down right away while they're thinking about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
We don't think, we just spend, right, Chuck? We just spend it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And why is my money not as good as other people's money?
I mean, I just have to wait for the ink to dry. That's all.
Oh, here's an idea. Make enough units at launch. So, you know,
Yeah,
everybody
that
will
would be
get
nice. I just think it's amazing that they always got to use that excuse due to unanticipated demand. Well, you know, after about 20 times, don't you think you should have figured it out by now? You know, I mean, God, they're awful.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's going on with.
They know it. They should be honest, and they should say, due to our limited manufacturing capability, we're not able to provide you with a lens. Not due to unprecedented demand.
It's not unprecedented anymore, is it? We can give you plenty of precedents. So, yeah, I agree. But maybe that's what's going on right now. They got the factory churning out one of these new camera bodies, and they're going to announce it, and they'll have enough for everybody around the globe. There you go.
I think
Sounds good to me.
I think they think they're a niche camera brand.
That's not good.
No, no, it isn't.
I mean, in a way, Canon prices their products like they're a niche product because they are considerably more expensive than everybody else.
And everybody in the Canon camp talks about how expensive Nikon is. So
Yeah, we're not selling $18,000. You know, you get the 800 6.3, a heck of a lot cheaper than what anything that you're going to get from Canon.
Those PF lenses must really upset some of those camera makers.
there you go. Great statement, Andy.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need to line up and you're a professional and you need to be one of the first to put your money down, then do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
not
man.
good that people are waiting, and then all of a sudden somebody jumps the line. You know.
Oh, man. What do we got going over here? Always got something.
Actually, we know they don't have limited financials though because they're buying companies, so they got money for certain things. That's for sure.
Yeah. So again, there's so many things, so many things that are being used as excuses. I want to know what's true. Not that we're ever going to find out, but
Well, their lack of financial health is no longer an issue because when you can afford to buy a 3D printing company and you're buying back all your stock, then you have money. It's
Yeah.
just where you're choosing to spend it.
maybe Nikon will announce the Z8 or advertise it on an airplane. That's right, because they're that's another thing. They just bought a company that does wraps, and I'm not talking about music, but for airplanes. That was just recently discussed. I wonder what it costs to wrap a 747.
It's a few $1,000s to wrap a car. So
Oh, yeah, and quality control there is imperative. You wouldn't want the wrap blowing off in the middle of a flight into the engines.
Somebody says, "Gee, it looks like the wings falling off. It's just a rat blowing around."
Yeah, it's been interesting, but we're winding down here to the end of the month. I mean, obviously, it's getting a little more exciting in the camera world, but we can't say for us yet. And tomorrow's a big day. Sony's going to officially announce and give all the explanations to all these bits and pieces of new technology. So they're going to announce their A7R5. And there's still more and more credibility building on Canon R6 II. And we've already had the 2 APS-C cameras. I'm just saying this to rub salt in the wound to get my rant built up. Hasselblad announces a new medium format camera. Fuji's announced one and delivered, and there's more rumors about another camera. Man, yeah, it's an exciting time, unless you're in Nikon.
Hey, who was talking about the 500p lens last time? Somebody was saying that about that lens. Who was it?
There have been quite a few people.
Jeffrey's problems.
My problems, probably me.
No. 500 millimeter f4p, the old one.
Oh, the old one.
Remember that?
I don't remember.
Somebody brought it up, saying that was like one of the best 500s they've ever shot. The manual focus lens.
Yeah, I had one of those. Got stolen.
Yeah. I
Very
found
good
one.
lens.
I found one for $900 on Marketplace.
I think you and Chuck should keep your 200 f2s though.
Oh, I'm not getting rid of that. Heck no.
I'm selling mine to Vahagen.
Actually, yeah.
So he has version 1 and 2.
Mosman would be a good candidate.
We might get lucky on the 28th. They did it last year. James, thanks for the hope. Andy's talking about it too in the next couple of days. Thursday. Yep. All right. That's it. There it is. You guys heard it from them first. Nobody's made it older. No, no, they have not. And I doubt that if that's to happen, it's going to be a third party design. You know, the Chinese ought to jump on that. You know, because nobody else is going to make it.
You got an inquiry, Chuck, about what you might want to sell your 200 F2 for.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how it starts.
Jonathan De La Rosa is twitching right now, thinking about it.
That's a good question, Jonathan, and because I plan to sell it, but I haven't put much thought into it. Hmm. Good
Prices are
question.
going down.
Huh?
The prices are all still going down for
Yeah.
F lenses.
Yeah.
That's something Chuck doesn't want to hear.
Ah, it is what it is, you know. And to be honest, I'm glad I sold my D5 when I did, uh, because you know they're dropping too. Mm, Miles Man talking about it's usually on Tuesday. Yeah, it is. Um, but who knows? Maybe it was too close, or they, you know, look, these companies know when the other's about to announce. They know that, and I'm wondering, could it be? So I'm making excuses now. Could it be that Nikon didn't want to announce today or before, let Sony announce, and then take all that press away from them by announcing afterwards? I mean, that's a big game they play as well. You know, if Nikon announced today, tomorrow, um, Sony would be in the news and not Nikon. Jess Breach says, "Oh, is Nikon going to announce a Z6 III and Z8 in November?" No, they're going to announce them in October. We still got a few days left. Don't give up, Jess Breach. Uh,
Just think of that picture that they always sell of the cat hanging from the window ledge and says, "Just hang on."
yeah, exactly. Yep.
I don't know why we're all worried about all this new gear. There's enough stuff to work with, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm not worried about it because I needed to work with. I'm worried about the, you know, Nikon. Not that they're going away, but I need Nikon to step up to the plate and become a big boy, big player. They always were, and all of a sudden they aren't anymore, and that bothers me.
I mean, I do eventually want to get a second mirrorless body, and then my D850 becomes more of a collector's item than anything else. But I do want to have two mirrorless bodies, and right now I only got the Z9. But I would be interested to see, not even necessarily a Z8. You know, I mean, I may end up saying, "Hey, I don't need something that's basically just a small Z9. I'm okay with a Z7 II or a Z7 III or a Z6 III. I might go that route depending on when we ever hear about the real specs."
I agree with I agree with you, Jeffrey, and I want to see what they're going to be, and I could be
Yeah.
tempted into any one of those cameras as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Long Rider. Yeah, we're a bit down in the mouth. Everybody's having fun. It's Christmas for everybody but us. That's what it is. We're getting a lump of coal.
Yeah. It's Halloween time and we're getting the tricks. We're not getting no treats.
We look. Hey, you know, we don't shoot cameras. None of us here actually shoot and do photography. We just collect cameras. Okay. I thought that might make people feel better because that's what they're going to say. Shoot with what you got.
Yeah.
Learn the camera you've got first.
Um,
Chuck, one thing you have going for you with that lens is that there's not too many of them out there. So
there aren't.
no, there isn't at all. I'm trying to check eBay sold listings, and there's not one I can reference.
Yeah.
But I see buy it now for about $3,000. Let's see, VR1, right?
Yep.
As a VR1 for 3,000 available, and that's it. There's nothing else in the whole eBay. Oh,
Hmm.
here's this is an old AIS. Never mind. Here's a VR2 for 3,800, but you gotta watch out if it's from Japan. You know, you want to buy a USA lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's a good point too, Mozman. But that's another thing, and this is just for me. You know, I've got money saved; it's ready, and if I don't use it, somebody else is going to use it.
We said last time, Chuck, you got to buy something nice for your wife. You know, you kind of
I
had
am.
trouble a couple of shows ago.
I absolutely will. No, she knows that I put away. I sold my D800 or D850. I sell these things and I get ready for the next whatever's coming. But it's still hard to hang on to that money and keep it in the kitty because other things come along, and next thing you know, okay, that's that. There goes half my budget.
well, Sony's definitely got the marketing game down. Remember when the A7 III came out? There was so much hype on that camera. Everybody's like, "Oh, you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out." You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see tomorrow. What are they doing? Like a keynote announcement or what's going on?
The official announcement for the camera is what I understand. Sony's going to announce it. And then, of course, everybody will be standing by to see when it will be available for order.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing like video format where they come in front of the camera. And, you know how Apple does their announcements.
Yeah. I don't think that in these cases they call it keynote. It's just the fact that here's a presenter that's going to talk about the camera and all the capabilities, and everybody's going to be waiting for the release date.
Yeah, I like the comment. I'm sure Fro has one already. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Amar's got one too because he's going to do a thing on it in about 3.5 hours' time.
So you know what? Here's something. We've seen very few leaks on. Let's talk about Sony for a second. There's I think one photo that was leaked for the A7R5. It's interesting. So there are a lot of people out there, that have already played with this camera, and they're waiting for the embargo to lift, which should be tomorrow, so all of them can drop. So get ready for that. You're going to get a flood of videos in your feed about the A7R5 because everybody's got it done, ready. They're just their fingers on the return key on the computer, just waiting for the clock to tick down. But how much information is actually leaked about it? From those that have used it. I'll tell you, I think all of them may be cracking down on their NDAs. That's big for some reason. I'll bet you there's 15 videos tomorrow by all the influencers on this camera. All the usuals for sure.
Simon's going crazy.
Probably haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, Greg. Wait till Halloween. We're going to get tricked or treated.
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Well, isn't Amar talking about it today?
Amar's yes. He's already he dropped a video today already.
He did? It's dropped? I thought it's a live stream.
No, he had a video already.
Man, Amar, you're ahead of the curve, man.
Yeah, everybody testing it. All those are going to come up. So all the, I don't know, what do you call them? Artisans of light or whatever they are. I don't know. But they're going to have their videos. That's going to come out during the announcement, I'm sure. Then you're going to have all the other independents out there, influencers that have their videos. They're just waiting for the embargo to lift, drop all their videos. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to get inundated with videos on the A7R5. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark, video out and live stream tonight.
yeah, live stream tonight. You guys are interested in the Sony? I know there's some Sony shooters in the audience. If you're interested in it, again, Amar will be on live tonight to discuss it based on what they know right now. I'm sure talk about it for the announcement, before the announcement.
Greg. Greg. Let's hope not.
Oh man, too funny. Yep. All right. Well, we will be, Nikon will do this to me. They'll announce this thing, surprise announcement.
Wait till you're on the plane going to Raleigh.
No. Even, no. They're going to wait till Thursday morning. And I'm in a car for 9 hours.
Yeah, you're driving home. You hear about it.
That's
Lots
why
of
it's gonna be.
M&Ms on the way.
Yeah. I don't eat in. I've reserved M&Ms to right here, live streaming. That's what the bag's for. It gets me through.
Man, Sony's got so many models. RS, A9.
So they do, but here's something funny. I'm going to pick on Amar for a minute, just bust his chops. Go watch his video. How many times does he mess up and say the R75? The A7R5. I mean, they're so similar. He talks about the two. He makes that comment, how similar, the nomenclature is. And it was just funny. He's talking about the A7R5 and he would talk about the R5 and the R7.
We're going to see
He's a cat shooter as well. That's why.
We're going to see the Northrops come out with their, the best things in sliced bread video.
That's if they have it, because they've already burnt Sony before, remember? They released before the embargo was lifted, the day before or something like that.
Fuji won't even send them anything either.
Hey, Moz, man, you'll get it. I'll be live from my cell phone on the way back if that happens. You can bet. Three p.m. British summertime equals 10 a.m. U.S. Yeah. Well, you know what? As angry as I would be that here I am on the road listening to K-pop, because that's what my wife's going to listen to all the way back. And all this is going on. Nikon announces, yeah, that would be miserable for me. I'll tell you right now, just miserable. But I'd still be happy. At least it happened. Yeah, I heard you this morning, Amar. I know it's hard. It's hard to keep up with it, man. It's hard to keep up with Sony's camera models anyway. I mean, I'm not poking. I'm not beating them down, but
I can't last very long.
I can't keep up with them.
I mean, I think these camera manufacturers need to, I think I said this on another show is, I mean, you can extend the life of your top camera via firmware upgrades, so you don't have to replace as often, because, you flood the market with too many models. You're diluting your own brand in a way, because people get confused. They don't even know which one to buy. They can't figure out which one they want to buy.
I'll challenge you. It doesn't matter. They're going to buy one. You're making a sale. So I understand that it is frustrating. Maybe for me it would be, but the bottom line is I'm going to buy one. So you're not losing a sale, you're still gaining another sale.
Well, the thing is, just from a business standpoint, you got all those parts bins for so many different models, and obviously some are going to sell more than others, and you're just sitting on money because your product offerings are there's so many that it's actually not cost effective to do it after a certain point in time.
Yeah, I could see that if you're overstocked in parts, but
Yeah.
Does
but then
anybody
again,
know- I was
but then
gonna say-
again, what's that?
No. I was just gonna say, does anybody know how many megapixels the new Sony is?
Yeah, 61.
61, yeah.
Wow.
A new 61, supposedly, a new sensor.
Mhm.
Not the old one, a new one.
And price?
Somebody said 4,000 British pounds, which I don't know what that is in US dollars, but that's somebody wrote it.
Simon dropped a video right before I started the stream, or right after I started the stream. I saw it pop up here, Ordinary Filmmaker, and it had something to do with the cost of the camera. The A5 or A5, the whatever it is.
A7R5.
Yeah.
Hot, 8 hot 1, hot 2, A7R5.
Hey, Amar, is the Z62, is that a rumor or is it real?
The R62.
No.
It's contagious.
Well, what did I say? Did I say something
You
else?
said Z62.
Oh, sorry. The R62, yeah. The R, the Z, the A, the P, the this, that.
We're all getting punch drunk, I think.
I'm gonna build me a filter pack and sell it. The M&Ms, It just sounds so much better than Skittles.
Well, you buy a bunch of big bags, Chuck. You put gloves on, and then you separate the colors and you repackage them and say you could buy just the yellow peanut ones, or you could buy this color, and you make mark them way up. Wow. $39.99. British money is $45.85. All right, so they're gonna sell an A7R5 for $4,500.
Probably is with sales tax because most countries do. They include the sales tax. It's only America that seems to add it on afterwards.
Yeah.
It's because we have so many varying sales tax here in America. Every state's different. The feds get their slice. Mozman, then we'd be arguing over brush brands, new brushes coming out from a certain brand.
Hey, what was that, Amar? Hey, Amar, I think Jeff, get him in here.
Leica. Come on, Leica. I can get them infuriated too. I think Mercedes Benzes are just awful cars. Come on, Amar. Come on.
My last 3 cars have been Mercedes.
BMW is doing good. I like BMW. I don't like the look of these cars though.
Well, I was at a car dealer the other day, and a guy bought a used Porsche 911, and the salesman who sold the car sold me a Honda, a year or so ago, and he said we had to get one part for it, and we had to get the car fixed, and this one part was $2,500. And that's the problem with a Porsche. That's a problem with all that high-end stuff. It's great to have high-end stuff, but realize that everything's going to be high-end. Your repairs, your maintenance, everything.
Well, you know what they say, right? If you can't afford the maintenance, you can't afford the car.
Yeah, or if you have to
True.
ask how much it is, you can't afford it.
Yep.
That's with Ferrari, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Just
say that
service
about
there.
things. I tell
Yeah,
people, if
cars.
you got to ask how much it is, you can't afford it. Don't ask how much the 600 F4 is going to be because you can't afford it.
I've never heard it described that way. Muzz, man, went from the traditional kidney grill to a pair of huge lungs on the front.
Yeah, I'm not digging that, Oz. I'm not digging that look. I think Mercedes cars look good now. They're doing good with their new electric cars.
Yes, they're all going electric, aren't they? Even Chinese electric cars now.
Hey, I just saw some big news for you down under there, Roy. The hydrogen powered cars that you guys, only you all are producing. The Hyundai plant down there,
Yes, they're trying to. I don't even take
hydrogen
off that.
propulsion. Already setting up filling stations or whatever kind of stations they are for those.
I think it's just trials.
Hey, Chuck, is
Everyone's
there
going
something wrong
electric.
with my mic?
Do what?
Is there something wrong with my mic?
No, why?
Oh, okay. I get a comment over there.
I don't know. It does sound different today. It doesn't sound bad, but it does sound different.
Bit quieter at times.
Really?
Yeah.
About now?
It sounds about the same as when you started.
Okay. I don't know what it is.
You got to change to your radio voice. Your deep voice, radio voice.
Testing 1, 2.
No, sounds different.
Hold on.
Here you go, Brian. He's more than likely going to order the A7R5. Just hope the price is not crazy. Yeah, I guess we'll find out for sure tomorrow, Brian. But I don't know if you're familiar with Simon over at Ordinary Filmmaker. I know he just dropped a video since this stream started and had something to do with the price. I don't know if there's been a leak or something, maybe on the price. I know it wasn't going to. It wasn't going to be cheap.
Oh, now how about now?
No,
That's good now.
Testing 1, 2.
no,
Much
it's breaking
better.
up.
Check,
When I
check
say-
1, 2. Amar. Amar 1, 2. Amar.
No,
Damn it. I don't know what it is.
it's
wait.
It's clipping is what it's doing.
How about now?
I mean,
About
you
now?
guys chime in too. What do you think?
Check 1, 2.
Better than there was.
Hey, yo. Get a German mic.
Yeah, it
Mike?
just seems like it's a little staticky and like the treble is high or something. Like there's not enough bass. There's not enough. It's not as deep or as rich as it usually is. It just seems
How's
like
it?
a little high, like it's a little higher range than it usually is or something. I don't know.
How's this?
There's no processing,
Quiet.
or your mic has some kind of processing
Check,
that usually
check,
does,
check,
and I'm
check.
not hearing it.
All right, as long as you hear what I say, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right, people, I'm not far from wrapping it up after the record night the other night, 5 hours and 7 minutes. I got to tell you, I was getting tired. However, still had 38 people in here at the 5-hour mark. I mean, that's amazing. But yeah. All right, so I will do it. I will definitely do an impromptu if something breaks for the in the Nikon camp. Otherwise, I'm not going to see anybody until Saturday night, and I would hope that everybody will be back Saturday night. Sounds like we may be able to get Mr. Albert Jimenez in here, and hopefully we can. talking about some of the adapters and other glass, and so I'll put that in the thumbnail if we got it all locked and cocked. So bring all your questions about adapters, and let Mr. Albert not just talk about it, but show you. The
When
man of
man going to come on, Chuck?
do what?
When was Mozman going to come on?
Oh,
Weekend.
Mozman, did we talk about Saturday night, Mozman? For you to come on? I can't remember. I can't keep up with it. I had a whiteboard up here, but it just did me no good because this is back when you were trying to schedule people to come on, the big names. They'd tell you yeah, and then they wouldn't. so I just kept wiping the whiteboard off and then gave it up.
Does
All right.
do
So,
Saturday.
let's go for Saturday. Let's go for Saturday. All right, Mozman. I'm going to talk to Albert and get that set up or whatever. We may have Albert come in and we'll do both. We'll start with one and move on to the other. We'll start with the storage first because I know a lot of people have questions about that, and that's something I absolutely need to hear. And if not, and don't worry about it. Maybe I'll talk to Albert. Maybe we do that on the following Wednesday. So, but yeah, Vahagen. Mozman, let's shoot for Saturday night for you. We're gonna kick it off with that no matter what, okay? Because again, it's something that's real important to me right now, and I'm gonna have to put off a purchase just to make sure I get my storage straight and get rid of all these external drives that are laying around everywhere. I have no idea what's on them. All right, so Saturday night. Just plan on that. I'll get the reminder out. Saturday night storage. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And I have, yeah, I have no idea what that is.
It's just hard drives
Okay.
in slots, and it's safe and it doubles up on all the data you put in it.
All right. Cool.
And when they fail, it makes a great boat anchor.
No, if it fails, you just take the drive out and put a new one in, and it copies it back over it again.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be included in there. People are going to talk about that too, James. But for the most part, for me, I need first, before I can even think about organizing on it, and that would be another great thing to have too, is just what do I need? There's so many options out there, and I hear so many different, people, their point of view or their likes or dislikes. So anyway, yeah, Mozman come in and I'd asked him, give us the down and dirty, what do I need to get this that can grow? Start small, get big, something like that, just to get it started. Because if I don't get it started, I'm never going to have it. I'm never going to do it. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you got a lot of money to spend, and what's the absolute best way to go right now? A $30,000 solution would be the best. Or okay, great, but what's the other end of the spectrum, which is still good, still works. Maybe it can you can grow with it, and it's affordable, because that's where a lot of people are. I want to do it, but I just see it as being too expensive. So anyway, I'll make sure nobody can afford the Z8 when I'm done.
Yeah, you almost want to
If
get
you look at the files, though.
you don't want to get into file structure and naming conventions and stuff like that, because that's really a personal thing, and you're going to have 500 different opinions on how you should structure your files, and it's like the best thing is to just read up on what's already available out there, or even with your software program, like Lightroom. You watch a tutorial on Lightroom, and you'll have people recommend how it's best to structure your files if you use Lightroom. And I'm sure it's that way with all the software. And then make up your mind what you want to do. Because everybody's different. You get into that conversation, that thing could go on for 6 months, and you'll just be going nuts. Well,
but there is a case to be made when if you're going to set up this architecture, the hardware, just keywording, and I don't know all the buzzwords there, but something so that you don't wind up with this giant wad of Now I got it all in one place, but I can't find anything. So I guess just mentioning of some things that, this is from the audience, people talking about what they do or whatever, and then glean from that. But yeah, I agree. And what am I actually setting up? Is it only stored? Am I setting up something that's a single point of storage, or does that thing actually have the ability to provide a second? And I know everybody's going to say, but if the box fails, it's all gone. So I don't know. You guys are the experts.
These boxes, these Nest boxes, have got 2 drives to do one job. That way, if one fails, it tells you, and you take the drive out and put a new one in.
Okay,
And it copies it back onto that one for the backup.
So I know, and all the pros are going to say, well, having an offsite storage. Okay, I'm not going there. All right, I'm not going there. But if we want to talk about, hey, this is a way to do it, and here's the hardware to buy to do it or whatever, that's fine for those that want to go that extended length. But I mean, right up front, what does a guy like me do that I have no need to archive anything other than just I want it, and that's it. That's why I need to put it all in one space, one spot, and be able to find it when I want it. If I lost it all tomorrow, it's not the end of the world for me. But I would like to have a one-stop shop to get it started. Then I can worry about additional backup, whether it's the cloud. And I think he was going to talk about some of this compared to the hardware. I need a starting point. I guess that's where I'm at. And,
this one uses magnetic hard drives. The
Okay.
newer ones will use SSDs, but it's the same system. You have 2 for every one you need, and then it backs up twice.
Okay. So yeah, and what's NOS and what's the other? I mean, what are the different platforms out there? That's what I'm talking about. It's that alien to me. So somebody, Mozman's going to spend a little time with us and tell us, so that at least I know when somebody's talking about this or that, or what kind of system do you have? It's typically for me, I don't know. They put it in and I use it. I don't know what it is.
Necessary.
Like buying a heat pump. How many people know, all the ins and outs of the heat pump? I don't know. It heats the house and it cools it. It's a good one. So anyway,
the easy solution is stop taking pictures, or you don't have to worry about it. No.
So for everybody that's unlike me and doesn't, if you're good, you have your storage set up, and it's you have off-site storage plus dual storage, archive in your house or whatever. That's great. Bring all that up when Mozman starts going. You guys can have a complete sidebar in the chat if you want, and that's fine too. But I just need one focal point to sit down and go through this and help me. And I hope that there are other people out there that feel the same way and they need the same thing. Because I know it's something. This is typically the most neglected part of any studio. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Storage,
I mean, like some pros, because of what they do, they may have the file on 2 drives, and they may take a drive put it in a bank and lock it up, so that if their house burns down, they don't lose their data. It's all on what your need is. Everybody's different.
I agree. So let's just do this. Let's just start at the bottom for an idiot like me, and
work our way up.
And work our way up. Yeah, what's going to be affordable and works? It's a start. It's a step in the right direction. At least I have a one-stop shop to find my data. I think that's just the very beginning. I know, but I guarantee you there are other people out there that feel the same way. And this is one of those things, because people are embarrassed. What do you do for backup? Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Like about 50 of these from the 1980s.
Mag tape.
Yeah.
It's magnetic tape. It's cartridge.
Mag tape cartridges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on them anymore.
I have to make a phone call real quick. But thanks for having me on the stream, man.
Yeah, man, of course. Absolutely, brother. You're always welcome on the stream. You're here. Everybody loves the rock and roll photographer, man.
All right. See you guys soon. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. All
Rock and
right.
roll.
Take
Rock
it
and
easy.
roll. All right, man.
Time to go do some work. All
Yeah,
right.
it hurts. It hurts my fingers to do this, but arthritis.
Yes, I know.
All right. So rather than get into all the, what's best in the cloud, magnetic tape, SSD, or whatever, because I don't know. I don't know, guys. And I'd like to hear the ins and outs of all possibilities. And I think that's what we're going for
Yes.
Saturday is let's talk about it. Because there are a lot of people, like I said, that don't want to admit that they have a terrible storage system because we all know that, you know, everybody talks often. Everybody's always talking about, if you don't have this, you're going to lose all your images and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So let's do it. Let's go at it Saturday night. All right, all right, Maz, man. A lot for you to tackle there, man. I feel bad because I asked you to do it, but this ought to be fun though. I'm going to get something out of it. I know. At least I'll have an idea of where to shop on B&H. They
Just
get
look
more
at
of my
NAS
money.
boxes.
All right. All right, gentlemen. I'm about done. I need to get out of here. And again, won't be on tomorrow, obviously. I'll be back in there Saturday night. I'll get the thumbnail up for that. And we'll talk about storage. And as long as you guys want to talk, because we can never stay on a subject for an entire stream, and that's okay, because that's what we're here to do. Talk about a lot of things photography. But appreciate Vahagan being in here, of course. Roy, thank you for being here. I always
My
love
pleasure.
having you in here because you can always show us a picture of an 1889 Kodak or
He has it behind him somewhere. He
I
just pulls
know,
stuff out. Look at
I
this.
know. I
Look
think
at
that's pretty amazing, and man, that's years and years of shooting and experience there. So
I think he's a
Just been around
magician.
too long.
He doesn't pull rabbits out of the hat as a magician. He just pulls out camera gear, man.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's cool. and thanks a lot, Jeffrey, for jumping in here with us. For those of you that would like to be on here, be in the panel, by all means, I'm more than happy to get you worked in here as well. If you'd like to do that, then I just ask you send me an email here at chuckomail at yahoo.com. And we'll talk for a minute and get you on here as well. Love to have some diversity of people, the rotating cast in here. I think it's great, and I love having multiple people on my stream. I've been asked that recently. Why don't you just do it yourself or have one-on-one? I like this. I'm liking this format. You know what? That's what matters. I like it. It's fun, I think, and I hope you guys feel the same way. I saw something that triggered my memory. Yeah, James, thank you very much. For those of you that aren't regulars here and you kind of like what we do and you'd like to be able to find us real quick, I'd encourage you to subscribe. I appreciate it. And I'm on this subscribe drive for all these other channels because we don't get a fair shake when it comes to being promoted by YouTube. It's really tough for those that are under 1,000 subscribers. You have to go out and scratch and claw and do everything you can to get known. There's, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 billion people on YouTube, and I've got 600 and something subscribers. I'm getting close to tapping into everybody available right now. Not. So the point is that if we can get this out there, there may be others that enjoy what we do. And especially for the channels that I mentioned today, it was D Moots Photography. Go over there and just subscribe. Do it as a favor for me. I don't know why you do it as a favor for me, but I'm asking you to just go subscribe. And I'm going to continue to do this with all the different channels that I associate with that are those that are struggling. They're creators. They want to do something. They want to enjoy, creating for an audience on YouTube. It's just so difficult when you're new to YouTube or you have a struggling small channel, but they're consistent and they're good. Just go subscribe, get over to Jeffrey's channel, Selective Imagery, and subscribe. Go to D Moots Photography, David's channel, and subscribe. And forget about it. You don't have to, again, you don't have to water it. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to do anything. No nurturing, no anything. That just gives a small creator a leg up. And that's what I'm looking for. I want the small creators to get a leg up because there's nothing else out there in YouTube land that does that for you. And if there is, you guys let me know and we can all tap into it.
A lot of
All
good
right.
people. Greg Wilson and Jeff and Leslie and
yeah.
it goes on and on. I mean, there's just
and I'm going to pick one every stream and concentrate and just ask everybody, go over there and, do your thing, subscribe, check the bell for all notifications. Don't check the bell. I don't care. And it sounds terrible to say it that way, but my point is that subscription is so important to the small creator. Okay. Getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark is extremely important. Until that point, you're on your own. Promote yourself as best you can. All right. But once you hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, then because you're monetized, and I'm not doing this for monetization, but because you're monetized, it behooves YouTube to promote your channel. Everybody following me here? That's why monetization is important, because it behooves them to promote your channel. That's more income for them. All right. So anyway, all right. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. You guys don't know how impressed I am that anybody wanted to be a part of this in the beginning, but I appreciate that you do. And now it's my success is because of so many people that have stepped up and enjoy it. And they actually provide the entertainment, the experience, the knowledge, and everything else. Again, I'm just the gatekeeper. I open the door, let everybody in. When everybody goes home, I sweep up the floor, close the door until the next time. But you guys in the panel and you all in the chat are what makes this a success and a lot of fun. All right. That said, do I have any other housekeeping to take care of? I see a lot of people saying safe journey. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got to fly down to Raleigh, North Carolina, and then link up with my wife, and we're driving back on Thursday. I'm sorry. I love my wife. I hate for her to travel alone. Call me crazy, but I want to go down and make sure she has a safe trip back up here. So there you have it. All right, folks, unless anybody's got any last minute comments, Roy or Jeffrey.
Yeah, if you're going to listen to that much K-pop, you better take some earplugs.
Oh, brother, I'm taking my my earpods and I'm taking my my iPad, because she's driving half the way back, and then I pick it up before it gets dark to drive. So while I'm riding in the passenger seat, I will be scouring YouTube and listening to all the streams and videos. All right, grab some barbecue. Yes, sir, I will, because I don't get great barbecue up in Connecticut. Imagine that. All right, gentlemen. Anybody in the chat got anything else to say? If not, I'm going to close her down. And again, thank you all so much for being a part of this. I do appreciate it. And that's about it. All right, guys. See you all Saturday night. Thanks, Moz, man. Looking forward to this. All right, people. Bye-bye.